WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how
WTF
the hell did I get
Nation
here?
Radio.
Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy. Had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar. A straight-up omelet bar. And now look. My former interns tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye socket. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
You said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger-qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
What's going on, guys? This is WTF Nation Radio's Monday edition with Ice, KJ, and joining us today is Mao. And September 11th, a few years back, if you guys didn't know what happened, obviously you were living under a rock. Today we were talking about work and talking about pretty much things in life and just things brought to my attention, things that happen in your daily grind, things that happen. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'll admit it. I've said some things about what we've done in Afghanistan and not done in Afghanistan and what we should be doing in Afghanistan. And I'm going to be man enough to say I own those comments. And but then what brings me back full circle, and I'll admit it sometimes, is that this is why I am still in. And I know there are individuals that are out there that are no longer in, that if they could fucking strap up, put them boots back on, would join me in the fucking fight still. I really start to look at things in life that are meaningful, and there's some shit that America has gotten to the point where we're just so fucking petty over what somebody says on Facebook or what somebody did to this or some comment about something or whoever, or you didn't do this or you didn't do that, or how come somebody didn't do this and why was that person not saying this? Everyone has gotten so goddamn sensitive about everything. You just kind of forget that about 16 years ago, if you were not changed by what happened on September 11, 2001, then there's something wrong with you. You could truth it. You can try to fucking say there's some sort of conspiracy. What the fuck ever, dude. My opinion is that you look at the people next. You look at the man and woman next to you that are fighting alongside you. Your brothers and sisters in arms. Your veterans in arms. If you didn't get to go, that's fine. You're still a fucking veteran. You raised your right hand to join in the time of war. I commend you. I salute you. So what I don't want to hear is how this didn't happen. So take the time, especially after what happened 16 years ago, to reflect that not only did Americans lose their lives, but the first responders lost their lives. Shots to the New York City Fire Department and the NYPD, everybody who was there in the World Trade Center, who went up in there, that ran to the sounds of screams, fire, and molten metal, and sirens. They didn't run away from it; they ran towards it. And so I don't really have a. Usually for everybody knows how I am. I have my segments all kind of like planned out of what I'm gonna say and all that. But this is kind of like from the heart. Take a look at the people that you love, in uniform or out of uniform. Your family members, your husbands, wives, girlfriends, and kind of look at what it means to be an American right now. And that, someone asked me today at work, Ice, are you still mad about this? I mean, you kind of talk about it, and they see me wringing my hands, and because when I get really anxious, you get that fight or flight, or you get that I'm pumped, I'm ready to kick some ass. My hands sweat. I want to, I got to put gloves on when I pull Jumpmaster duties, just about, so that way I don't fucking slide off the fucking door when I'm hanging out of it. And I said, yeah, you know what? I am still fucking mad. Still mad. And the reason why I'm still mad is because thousands of Americans died, and our brothers and sisters in arms have lost their lives, have been maimed and wounded, only for you, those who don't believe in the American fucking dream of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what's got me fucking mad still. And so my comments saying about what we should or should not be doing in Afghanistan still kind of hold true. However, it's time to move on to the next mission, and it's to wipe every single one of those fucking goat fucking pieces of shit off the map. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with, obviously, with the political correctness of why we're, I'm done with it. I really am fucking done with it. It has nothing to do with political correctness. Has nothing to do with you're harboring on people's lives. You're talking about this. You're talking about what, seeing, we played on the main page, and we also, a video got set up on both on pages and forward and all that on the WTF Enterprise, and you guys noticed something, that it was the recount of historical events. Didn't that fucking get to anybody that those were Americans that were jumping out of those buildings when that was happening? It got to me. So if anything else, if I had 20 more years of my life left into me, I would do it again. I know where I was at during September 11th. I mean, Jesus Christ, there's some kids that weren't even born yet, or not even 1 year old. I mean, the next year, the children who were born after September 11th will be ready to enlist in our nation's military. So we could go back and forth about politics. We could go back and forth about what our president should have been or should not have been or whatever. But damn it, you're not fucking hyphenated, man. You're fucking American. And we will not falter, we will not waver, and we will not fail. Because you're either, yes, with us, U.S., or against us. So, shots to everyone who's lost their lives in 9/11, to the first responders, to from soldiers from that moment on, from October 7th, 2001 up to now, fighting the global war on terrorism. It's got me upset because I really kind of look at things in life and look things in perspective. Don't be afraid to tell that person that you love them. There are some individuals that boarded those planes that day that didn't even say goodbye to those they loved. They didn't get to finish an argument. They didn't get to apologize to an argument. They didn't get to hug their kids goodbye. They were sleepy little lumps in their beds. So you know what? Take life in perspective, because there are forces out there that aim to destroy us. So if you think that's politically incorrect, go ahead and go to the upper right corner of your fucking browser and shut us off. Because WTF Nation Radio, U.S. Army WTF Moments, their mission is for the veterans and their families, active duty, retired, reserves, National Guard, IRR, and wounded warriors. We have wounded warriors on our staff right now that still serve in some capacity to assist in the veteran community. So it doesn't matter at all what petty shit is going on, who said fucking what on Facebook, or what drama is happening. If you are letting that right there happen to your fucking, if that you're letting that right there run your fucking life, don't become the product of your environment. Make the environment a product of you. So, I am not apologizing to anyone for being an American, ever. And rightfully so, because no one who is an American should apologize for being an American. And if you're not from America, as in the United States of America, and you expect me to apologize for you, you're either going to have a 30-round magazine coming at you, or you're going to have dead silence, because I'm never going to apologize for what I am. I'm not going to apologize for what my country is, for what my president is, for what my brothers and sisters in arms are. Never. I'm never going to apologize for that shit. Because if you think that I am, again, wrong answer. Whether it be what color that you are, or what country that your heritage is from, and you are on my side, and I don't have to look over my shoulder, but I can look along my shoulder. I look right next to you, looks my left and right, and I see my teammates ready to breach the door. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's do it. But until then, if you are enemies, shut the fuck up. Because again, today, for some reason, I don't know, just injected 20 more years to me to want to continue serving. I mean, not to throw a joke in here, I'm like that Black Knight on Monty Python. It's only a flesh wound. I'll keep going. So don't assume that my age means that I'm going to hang it up. Because when I retire, I'm still going to be involved in the veteran community, helping my brothers and sisters out. So again, that's pretty much all I got to say. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean to derail you or fucking take up the first 15 minutes of the show. I just really feel fucking, really fucking feel right now that that you know what, I'm done with that shit. I'm not ever gonna do it. No, you're not. You're an American. You're the way I see it. Just like when I see what's happening in Texas, what's happening in the Hurricane Irma, except for the looters. Fuck the looters. Nah, I shouldn't say that. They're Americans too. They just need to be fucking punished for fucking looting and shit. I don't get it. I don't get where the vitriol's from. I'm not going to kowtow to any religion either. Because you know what? You're not supposed to know what my fucking religion is. Because that's why our forefathers, or the immigrants that came here legally before, did. They escaped religious persecution. Don't invite it back. Because if you're not on the religious side, you will be persecuted. Or if you are not of that side, your religion of what you are will be persecuted. I'm not on my watch. Not on my fucking watch. So, with that, I guess that closes my opening remarks. Yeah, there is a bonus for 20-year enlistment. It's keep getting promoted, man. Sorry,
yeah,
I didn't mean to go on a rant, guys. I apologize. I'm just fucking...
You lost one of the Adidas tracks soon, so I was getting you for retirement. Now that you're thinking about enlisting,
yeah, just thinking about is there a bonus for 20 more fucking years? Shit.
I mean, bonus knee replacement, but you know, floats the boat.
Well, not
hip replacement.
Yeah, about to say not to reveal too much of my Persic, but I've already had a knee replacement, so.
Can I caveat on something you said?
Go for it, brother.
Boss?
Go for it, man.
I grew up. I spent the first 12 years of my life in Long Island, New York, and I remember at 9 years old, September 11th, and what happened, and the planes, and the fire, and the devastation, and people throwing the buildings, and the horror. And I remember growing up on Long Island, one of the most liberal places today, and seeing the entire country come together, singing country songs, singing hip hop, singing songs of unitedness and coming together and finding a purpose and looking to fulfill that purpose. And now 16 years later, here we are, one of the worst hurricane seasons of this century so far. We have Harvey, we have Irma, we have Jose deciding he doesn't want to report the news at JRTC. He wanted to become a hurricane. Kidding.
And he can't make up his mind where he wants to fucking go either. He's doing like U-turns and shit.
We have fires. We have fires out west. We have, unfortunately, people today. There was a suicide bomber today, and we lost people in I believe it was Afghanistan. We've had a lot of shit happen up to this point, 16 years later. And we as a country, and to all the listeners here, I hope you agree with me. This is my opinion. But we need to remember the things that bring us together and use them to further and unite us. Do not allow people to drive that wedge, be that wedge being religion or sex or gender or what the fuck ever. Remember that in the end, we are Americans. We are the most resilient country in the world. And this too shall pass. I'm done being all heroic and stuff now.
All you fuckers are heroes. What are you talking about? I want to hear that shit. My biggest thing is that no, you're right. Is that it'll pass and all that, but we just got to maintain our foundation. And it's kind of funny that you know that the everyone's just like, "Ice, how old were you when you were 9/11?" Oh, well, 9/11 happened. I was fucking. This may sound kind of fucked up. I wasn't. I don't want to date myself, but I was already old when it happened. How about that? I was pushing around. I'd say I was in my 30s. How about that when 9/11 happened? So, I didn't expect it to be. It's almost like when you've been talked to a certain way, you've been raised a certain way, and then all of a sudden when it comes to you talking to somebody and they talk against what your norms are, and you just can't believe you ever heard that shit before. That's the way I kind of feel like how these, again, I keep going back to this. Don't be the product of your environment. Let the environment be a product of you. We are Americans. There's no such thing as this freaking, letting the Facebook shits get pissed. And that's what blows me the fuck away. I mean, granted, this is also how we're able to project our message. It's kind of like a necessary evil, I guess. Kind of like wives or some shit. I don't know. It's something that we're using to project our message, but it's also something that we fucking loathe. Right now, there are individuals that are bitching about the most stupidest shit on fucking Facebook. The stupidest shit. I mean, literally complaining about what is right, what's wrong, who said this, who said that, who did this, who did that. Fuck, man. This is offensive. That's offensive. Why is that offensive? I don't get it. So, no way, dude. I am not going. Nope. Not apologizing ever. Now, why would I want to apologize? Why would anybody want to apologize for fucking being an American? You shouldn't be ashamed of that. There's no reason for you to be ashamed to be an American. When I hear people say I'm ashamed to be an American, I was like, you got your wallet or something like that? You got some ID or something? So there needs to be like a scarlet letter or some shit that we can put on people that says specifically, you are freaking, how do I say this? We've disowned you. There should be like a disowning card or some shit that says, yeah, exactly, Catherine. What the fuck? When did offensive be so fucking offensive? That would be so validating and shit. What makes you mad is the people who are who's the validator? Who's the validating authority of offensiveness? Somebody who's fucking butthurt and shit? Man, fuck that.
I was a freshman in college when it happened.
Oh, what happened with you?
I was 18.
You were 18?
Oh, I was asleep.
Oh, you're 8. Okay, so you were asleep. Go on.
Okay, anyways, I had worked a long shift with work the night before, and I didn't have class until that afternoon, so I slept. And my mom came into my bedroom, she's waking me up, and I'm like kind of half out of it. And I thought she said, because near Cincinnati, there's a flea market that's called Trader's World. And she's like, Amy, somebody flew a plane into, and I thought she said Trader's World. And I was like, who the fuck flies a plane into a flea market? She goes, not the flea market, you dumbass, the trade towers or the World Trade Center. I was like, oh shit. So I went out to the family room, and we just like, and my best friend, she had stayed the night with me, and we just stood there and just watched it all. Like our classes were canceled for the rest of the day. Like I had to work that night. Like we were dead. We closed early, and we, went home early. Like there was like maybe 3 or 4 tables that night, and this was TGI Fridays. So I just remember that day, everybody was just so quiet. Nobody talked about anything. Nobody argued about anything. Everybody was just glued to what was going on, and I guess dumbfounded of what happened. And then, of course, a couple of days later, I went to the local fire department. I changed my major from nursing to fire science. And then I went from there, and I worked, at the fire department for a couple of years afterwards. And that's my story.
Yeah. I can't tell you where I was working, because I was working classified stuff. So there you go. That's where I was at. I do say that I did get a lot of phone calls that day that kind of freaking, got everybody involved. I knew that all military installations were locked down. And it took everybody forever, because the military, obviously we've never had an attack on an American soil, so the military didn't know how to lock down all the installations. So a lot of the installations had to lock and load and put tanks and Humvees and vehicles, to surround it and all that, because they didn't know, back in the States, they were all open posts. You could just drive on, no big deal. Europe wasn't like that, because after the 1998 bombings at the embassies of Kenya and Tanzania, they were already locked down. You couldn't just drive in like it used to. So it was kind of weird, because I was already used to working in environments that were already secured, so it didn't bother me. It was just the traffic, and it's bad enough that most everybody that drive around military installations, and it's mostly Joes, don't know how to fucking drive, because they're lemmings. They follow one person, and they don't know how to fucking merge, or something like that. That drives me up the fucking wall. So it was one of those things. The next day, I literally had to park. I had to park my my vehicle and walk. A lot of people were just parking their vehicles in parking lots of stores and stuff and walking in. And then I was like, I got a mountain bike at the house. I just put that shit in the back of my truck and then fucking just drive in. I'll ride my bike in. And I did that. Everyone started doing that. So the next thing you know, freaking bikes started coming off the shelves at all the stores, and due to the fact that, obviously, because the traffic was so bad. But again, I never really, you kind of, I don't know, for some reason this year just kind of hit me, man. This year's just kind of one of those things to where I had a lot of stuff happen in my personal life that kind of, had some significance to, like I said, tell the person that you care about, hug your kids, talk to your mom and dad, anybody that you've had any drama with or whatever, reconcile that shit, or don't speak to them ever again. Because I'm not making everybody kiss and make up. Just one of those things that fucking happens in life. There's just some people just never going to get along with. So if there's somebody that you can make amends with or whatever, hey, do it. And that's what happened with me. I didn't make amends with somebody, and he was killed before we can have that beer to fucking reconcile our shit. And we talked about how much we hated each other, and we just like, hey, we need to chill. Hey, I got to go my way. Hey, I got to go my way too, brother. All right, man. Hey, have a good one. And then the next thing he was killed 2 weeks later. So, and that's probably what's hitting me the most about that, is that some individuals that you think you would never get along with, and all of a sudden you come to realize once you sit down and shoot the shit with them, that they're actually especially if they're in the I'm talking about military in general and in the veteran community. kind of realize that you're probably like the fucking same. So it's almost like a different frequency of the individuals that you finally decided to come together and shoot the shit, and then you just now realizing that you two are more alike than anything else. That's usually what happens in the veteran community anyways. Except some people just have a bigger fucking mouth than some others, but whatever, man. So, I don't want to dwell on that shit, man. I'm divorced again. No, I'm not. Shut up, D-Max. That's all. Everyone thinks that's my fucking fault. My first ever too. No, it's just one of those things that you think about, you reflect upon, on some people, and how your dealings are when you're in the military. Talking with just shooting the shit and listening to Patrick from War Horse for Veteran, and one of the things that he said was that it's that a lot of guys have a lot of issues with dealing with being a team, being with their team downrange, and then everyone leaves together, and the next thing you know, once they leave downrange, everyone departs. No one's there to come back. I kind of like, I miss, and I'll admit it. I mean, I miss being with my teammates. I miss being with my Joes, being down in the line, watching them blow up some fucking shit, and then laughing and giggling, and then playing a prank on me or something like that. Just the simple grab assery that you do when you're with your fucking troops or you're with your teammates. When I progressed, because when I was on a team, we would fuck around and bullshit and fuck with the fucking senior leadership. And then when I became the senior leadership, the next thing you know, the Joes were kind of fucking with me. And, so there's some of the things that I kind of miss. And so that's one of the things that as you get older, or as you are a veteran and you're transitioning out, you just kind of like fucking, I don't know. You just miss it. You don't know how to, you know what I mean? There's nothing for you to, there's no stimuli for your release. That's why I'm still active in this stuff, and that's why I want to be here and be part of this, because I want you guys to know that I'm in it for the long haul with you guys. You guys are my brothers and sisters in arms, and I would take a bullet for you no matter what. So don't ever think that you can't fucking call anybody to shoot the shit with anyone about what's going on in life. Today we're going to have a walk of life, and these group of guys are rucking across the U.S. to talk about veteran suicide and stuff. I'm not talking about just, the whole, because everyone likes to, to fucking hone in on that. When some people realize that it's usually just talking about something will normally push something out of somebody's head without even you bringing it up. Because you could talk to someone and all that stuff. Not even bring, hey, you gonna hurt yourself, or you gonna do something to yourself. You don't even have to talk about that. If you just talk about somebody, and you're gonna sit there and say, hey, dude, you're gonna do something to yourself, and you can do something to yourself, they're gonna be conditioned to think that that's all they're worth. If you open up and say, hey, bro, what's going on, man? I fucking miss the sandbox. I fucking miss it too, dude. Do you remember that one time? Because some of the guys at War Horses for Veterans, come to find out that I've chewed some of the same dirt with them. Sneaky dudes just realized that they were rehabbing me while they were talking about some of the same dirt that we were chewing, and I had a blast. And I'm just thinking about that shit. Just thinking about some of the guys. Talk to somebody about it. Don't sit there and hide it. So when our guests come on, they'll be able to talk about what they're doing and be able to highlight some of their stuff. I'll let them introduce themselves and all that, because that way, I don't like to steal on thunder, because then not gonna want. You want to talk to the guests after that after you let them talk. So that's really what I wanted to speak about so much. So yeah, exactly. Camaraderie. I doubt I'd take a bullet for D-Max. What are you talking about, man? Shut up, D-Max. How about that? Of course I'd
take a bullet for you with D-Max. Don't you worry.
It's okay. Yeah, I would shoot KJ for you, D-Max.
Whoa. I gotta fill out my life insurance first. Hold on, all right? Let's do this right.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, yeah. No, I mean, that's American. You're American. You're supposed to take a bullet for each other. That's the whole meaning of it. That's the whole meaning of freaking being an American. Everyone, when you're American, you're supposed to be a teammate. You're supposed to follow what Americans do. I said American, as in you are an American. You're not hyphenating yourself. You're not fucking throwing blah. I'm black American. No, you're not anything American. You're American. Born here, served here, you vet here. American. There you go. It should be that easy. It should be that black and white. It should be that simple to talk about being an American. Hey man, where you born? Oh, I was born blah blah blah. Oh wow, dude. And that kind of funny, I got family over there. Oh, really? Yeah, cool. Blah, blah, blah. You start connecting all that stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, whatever. You don't look like, yeah, no, I get that a lot. Oh, but you don't look that either. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Whatever. All right, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, but people cling to their cultural heritage.
Then they should realize that's not their culture.
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you need to find a way to incorporate that into being an American. I mean, I hate to bring up my home state again. We have the Italian parade, the Jewish parade, the flying spaghetti monster worshipers.
Yeah.
We incorporate all of that, and it's all fucking festivals that they used to have in the city and all across Long Island that were a part of daily life. You knew the Catholics were going to throw the bomb-ass festival with the party and the rides and stuff, and the Jews were going to bring the this and the other thing, and we all came together as Americans.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. It is that. It should be that black and white and simple. There's nothing wrong with celebrating your heritage. I could cook a mean taco. I can make some carne asada. I like drinking Tecate con limon. I don't mind sharing some of my cultural background of my ethnocentrics. I can make you some good Mexican food. That's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
if anyone's looking to dine kosher, I got you, fam. I got you.
I don't know. My son told me last night I sucked as a German because I don't like mustard. And I told him that's because you ruined that for me when I was pregnant with you. So, shush.
Exactly. I can speak 8 languages, D-Max. I used to speak 12, but now I'm slowly rusting because I don't speak them anymore. Somebody asked me for proof, so I showed them. But anyways, I think it's some of my. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we celebrate. I don't have fucking flags of foreign countries in my house. Some of you that you see my studio set up, I have a little American flag right there. My little it's a little post flag right there, in my little op center here. American, USA. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you can't go back and trace your heritage and all that stuff. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with going back and you find out that, whoa, I came back from this, and I did that, and I was from that and from this, and holy shit, that's what I was fascinating was from. I did my Ancestry.com, and I shut the book after a couple of generations, like, ew, damn. That okay.
I'm a mutt.
No, I'm not quite a mutt. Just kind of shocked at some of the behaviors of my fucking family that I'm just like, I don't own. I don't take fucking ownership of what my family has done on that too. I mean, but then again, like I said, it's my background. It's the background that I have of my heritage. So I don't slam the heritage. But the first thing when someone asks me, hey, where are you from? From blah blah blah. Oh, okay, but you like I said, your name is like weird, like it's like from another country. Yes, it is from another country. So what's wrong with that? Well, aren't you not proud of your race, man, or whatever? It's like, what's my race supposed to be? American, right? American. I mean, I can apply the same attitude other individuals apply to their religion of what they are, even though they come from different colors, different backgrounds.
You can always say you're part of the human race.
Yeah, but that's too fucking.
That's what I always say.
That's too fucking granola, fucking holistic. You're part of the human race. It's time for you guys to understand there's only one race. That's the human race. No, I don't fucking think so. You're American, right? Fucking Islam likes to do that shit. You can be whatever color you want, but once you slap the Koran on you, what happens? The next thing you know, it's all of a sudden a race, right? Then it becomes a religion. No, it's whatever, dude. You're just fucking. That's just a religion. You know, holla at you later. Fuck that. What was the other comment that I said? Instead of bejesus, scared the ball out of you.
Oh my fucking God.
This is why I have to be this way for fucking Monday, because it's opinion and entertainment and purely news. But that's what that's what the Monday edition's all about, is to get some opinions out, to get some conversation going. And I get to throw some conversation out about being American today. Because why? America. If I were to use the same mentality those groups like to use, then our race is American, right?
What?
Yeah. Then I could say I'm American. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't, again, I don't mind if you celebrate something. I'm telling you what, if you're from Italy, if your family lineage goes back to, and you give me some good fucking Italian food, why the fuck am I going to diss that? But then again, when we're slapping the body armor on and we're ready to rock and roll, and I see you slapping on a fucking uniform, an American flag on your uniform, and you're going, let's go, ICE, let's do it. Fuck yeah, dude, that's what it's all about. If I see you waving a Mexican flag, a fucking Nazi flag, a fucking Italian flag, a German flag, because you don't like an opinion of a country, of our country especially, get out. See you.
If you don't like the country you're in, fucking leave.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already fucking leaving their original. People are already leaving their original countries and coming here, and then they don't like how it is. How many countries in the world you can go to? I mean, I didn't like it in New York. I didn't like it in Florida. I didn't like it in fucking Ohio or what's the other fucking state? Oklahoma. I'm in Tennessee. I like it in Tennessee. Don't come stalking me here, though.
Well, now that's one thing about being American. You could say you don't like a state that you live in if you're not from that state. Because there's a lot of states that I love, and there's states that I'm like, ugh, it's just not me, because literally it's just not me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have here. Not only do you have your choice of what country you fucking move to, and if you want to be a part of that country. But in the United States, you have even a further choice of where the fuck you want to be and what environment you want to be in.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be in an environment.
Your gut like I did.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. You want to go to the north and listen to fucking Jay-Z rap about how the Jews own all the fucking land? Hell yeah. Whatever the fuck you want to do, you can do it in this country. But don't try to change what is the best part about us, is that we are America.
Yeah,
we are everything, the dream, the hope, everything.
That's right. That's right. And embrace America too. There are some well, as a matter of fact, I'll read it right now. I wasn't going to talk about this till later, but I'm going to do it right now. So, Kansas City Royals. I'm seeing the only thing that any team, the Kansas City Royals, which solidifies why Kansas is a good place to hang out, is that they're the only ones that are playing something for 9/11 for the troops. Kansas City Royals. You don't even have to like baseball. Just the fact that you imagine being downrange and the Kansas City Royals fucking televise that shit to U.S. troops overseas. Fuck yeah, dude. That's the shit. What? I don't see anybody else doing that. Why is it so difficult for anybody to want to praise to be an American? It's almost like you're talking bad about your family or some shit like that when you do it on TV.
You know, the minute you say I'm a proud Italian, you can't call yourself proud to, it isn't like back in 2001 we were singing because I'm proud to be an American.
Yeah.
Or at least I know I'm free. And now it's, well, I'm proud to be gender fluid with 73 genders that you see.
Yeah, exactly. People got to throw all that shit in there. You're not proud. Look, stop. American should be like all encompassing under if you wish to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against enemies, foreign and domestic. Yeah, Antifa. I'm talking about you bitches. Didn't know that you've already been labeled a domestic terrorist organization now, have you? Yep. So, Fox Sports, Kansas City, you guys rock. It's going to be like this one's for you, and it's a special telecast of Royals baseball. Kansas City, Missouri National Guard guys are getting the 35th Infantry Division serving in Kuwait are going to be interviewed live by Fox Sports Kansas City during a game, along with U.S. troops around the world, be able to watch the game live at 3 a.m. on AFN. To include several hundred family members attending the game at Kauffman Stadium. I guess it's the stadium that's where the Royals play. So yeah, what's up with that, dude? I don't see anybody else. You know what I see? I see entitled little fucking bitches kneeling during the national anthem. Hey, you know what? You want American? Get the fuck out. Matter of fact, there should be a helicopter to fly these fuckers that kneel during the national anthem. Yeah.
Drop them in the fucking Pacific.
No, not drop. No. Fly them to the nearest airport where there'll be a fucking one-way ticket to whatever country they think is better than ours, and see you. Put them on there.
Have you seen the little kid? Like, ignoring Kaepernick, who's a fucking shitbag, and the rest of the fucking gang.
Never heard
Have
of
you
him.
seen the little kid that is fucking YouTube famous now? He's maybe 9 years old. He's no older than I was when I was having stupid thoughts about. Is working. Look at what Venezuela has. Look at what Cuba has. And this kid literally is the epitome of like the little fucking little kid on the fucking little car that's Asian as hell. As like, oh, hello, you want fast food? He's that size kid. Like socialism working. Everybody's getting an equal share, dude. You definitely getting your equal share of your Twinkies at your school, bro.
Right? I mean, when you're 9 years old, that's all you care about is everybody getting a fair share. But they don't really realize when you become an adult, you have to be an adult.
This kid is like he's praising, like he's reading straight out of like the Little Red Book, and he's fucking like reading shit from like Karl Marx on his fucking YouTube. And I'm just sitting there going, dude, you have no fucking idea how the world works. You have no idea how society works or how America is. When you grow up, you're going to be one of those people that is screaming and hooting and hollering, just like the Antifa nut jobs or whomever else decides to be a jackass in the near future, about it's not fair. Suck it up, Buttercup.
I don't think life was ever meant to be fair. It wasn't fair that we lost all those lives in the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, Pennsylvania. It wasn't fair for them, right?
Nope.
So, I don't really fucking, I really don't see anyone's excuse for not to be proud to be an American. I don't expect you to fucking be jumping up and down and having fucking sparkles come out your ass with a goddamn Uncle Sam hat going, I'm super, thanks for asking. I don't care about that. You don't have to be, just when your country is in need or needs some help, don't diss it. If you are being, and I'll say this, I know we don't really talk politics and religion, but there's only one way I could say this. If you are blessed enough, lucky enough, or chaos and fate has placed you in this country to exist, you should be thankful. Because I'd rather have, like I said before, I'd rather have a bad day in America than any day as any other fucking citizen of another country. However, I'm proud to be an American. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. You're not going to pry that from my fingers at all, to include all the amendments of the Constitution. To include my right to say whatever the fuck I want. You don't like it? Don't read it. Don't buy it. Don't click the fucking X. Say we're fucked up. Say we don't know how to fucking radio, and eat a dick. I don't care.
Speaking of caring, I saw that Angel Ocampo asked a question. And I wanted to let you know before you enlist. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. You do not have to salute an officer's wife if they're not in. I don't think if there's I've never heard of saluting anyone's wife or standing at parade rest for anyone's wife.
If the only way you ever have to salute your wife or my wife or how many ever the wives I have, if one of them is an officer serving in the military, then yes, you have to salute them. However, if they're just a spouse and they have the orange ID card instead of a CAC, then you ain't got to salute shit.
They can go eat a dick.
They can go eat phalluses and penises.
do not fear. You will not go to jail if they are not
You will not-
actually an
you-
officer and they are like, oh, my husband's a captain, salute me.
Yeah.
I'm a captain too. No, you're not. You're the fucking wife
Oh, I would have told
or the
that bitch.
husband.
Like,
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
must suck a lot of dick or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So again, Kansas City Royals, you're slowly starting to become one of my teams that I will follow. Slowly. Don't fucking get your hopes up, Kansas City, because I'm still
Or
Dodgers.
cuffs.
yeah. Cuffs. What is all this fucking KC shit in my mailbox for? Again, I heard you might like Kansas. No, still a Dodgers and a Texas Rangers fan.
Not gonna lie, I'm waiting for the Royals to get changed to another team
Why?
so that I can finally put up memes of, oh, hey Royals, you're not in Kansas anymore.
Oh, God. Lame. Are they gonna get traded? I don't fucking know.
Technically, it's Kansas City, Missouri.
Well,
so.
my whole point. Well, whatever. It's just like the Carolina fucking Panthers. It's in North Carolina, but they represent both Carolinas. Man, fuck that. So Kansas City's whatever. Stop. You're picking pepper out of fly shit. You know what? My whole fucking point being is that shit. You get me all riled up. I'm speaking like pie. But anyways, yeah, this one's for you, Kansas City Royals. Fuck yeah. Again, I guess I'm gonna have to follow you guys as a fucking baseball team now. I'm not a fan, but I'm just saying you guys are cool. You guys are cool. I don't say people are cool that often either. So, but yeah, go ahead.
My bad, brother.
Go ahead. What you fucking stop?
Okay,
Go.
fine,
You stop. Shit.
Fine. No, I might have to look at their outfielders and stuff for fantasy baseball now. You know,
No.
might actually do me something good.
Nah, I don't do that fantasy football, baseball, fucking hockey shit. I don't fucking do that. And I'm gonna go to a fucking game, or I play the game. I'm not going to fucking go in there and say, oh well, so-and-so's got a batting average of blah blah blah. He needs a fucking blah. All I know is that when a baseball player hurts his fucking thumb, he's out for the year, and that's fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? It's stupid as fuck. You see dudes getting their legs bent backwards in half and shit in football, and the next thing you know, he's going to be down for a couple weeks. And the next thing you see the guy running and shit. Fucking, he's back in the game. Baseball player sprains his thumb. He sounds like Prince. Fucking, thumb. So yeah, Kansas City Royals, dude. That's going to be cool. It's been produced by Fox News, Fox Sports Kansas City in coordination with the Royals and AFN. And yeah, that's badass. That's fucking awesome. That's going to be cool. So the troops are going to be able to see a good game. I wonder if they can drink beer and shit. And eat stadium hot dogs and stuff. I know some baseball stadiums are getting pretty fucking baller and shit now. They're almost
but
like
that's
fucking
so expensive. Like a beer's like $8. A hot dog is like outrageously like
free game. That's why Baby Ice, his kit is pre-gamed.
I'm not gonna lie. Here in Nashville, we have a fairly decent pricing. I mean, comparatively, I remember Raymond James Stadium where the Buccaneers were, or
fuck the Buccaneers.
Tropicana Field was
Fuck
like $30 for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck the Buccaneers. I said that. Fuck you, Buccaneers.
Excuse me.
Yeah. They don't have a fucking. They don't have any military support veterans and shit like that. And the fucking Tampa teams that are there, the Tampa Bay Lightning, are the only ones that support the troops. Yeah, whatever.
No. You're absolutely right. No, but Raymond James Stadium itself.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty fucking fun. Raymond James.
Well, yeah,
sports,
I like. Yeah,
they do a whole lot.
Yeah, I like going there for the Monster Jam. You know, Sunday. Raymond James Stadium.
Party it up in the pirate ship.
Yeah, dark. Bringing the fight tonight. Pay for the seat, but you only need to urge. So. Yeah, dude.
You do not have a future as a Monster Jam announcer.
I do
boss.
not.
You don't.
No, I don't. No, I just imitate people. That's all. That's all I do. What? I'm not red leg. I'm not. Nope. Nope. I'm not. Don't accent. Morty. This chick thinks I sound like red leg.
Oh, I don't know.
Exactly. Morty, I'm not red leg. Oh man.
I know that.
So
I hope that was a passable Morty.
no.
Damn it.
No, that wasn't. I'll admit it. If someone says ice work on your fucking Rick Sanchez impressions, then I'll try. I'll keep working it. But yeah, I'm not gonna again. Some of the groups out there in some of the sports. Again, you're not proud to be a fucking American. Then get the fuck out. Really, you really don't like this country? Get the fuck out. If you are trying to oppress somebody, get the fuck out. Because the last time I checked, I don't see nobody in chains around here. I don't see nobody fucking, being in bondage. I don't. Please, if you know of such locations, email me at ice@wtfnationradio.com and let me know where these places are at, and I will geotag them and then do a special broadcast and say, yep, these are the motherfuckers that are in bondage. But until then, you head up. There is nothing to fucking be upset about. How could you be fucking upset about being from America? Is that a little over the whatever, dude? You can be proud of fucking being from Texas. You can be proud of being from California. I don't know why. Arizona, Nevada. Be proud of your fucking state. That's why I could live anywhere, except for some states. That's why I could live anywhere. There are some states that I just don't want to fucking nope.
Associate with?
Never will I ever associate myself. Never, no. Yeah, there's just some states that when I was stationed there, Alabama, for instance. No, couldn't be stationed there. I mean, couldn't live there. I'm sure there are other places in Alabama, but once you've been stationed in a duty station where there's a post that just sucked, and it's a sucky post, and then you kind of like project that on the state. Then you're like, oh, the state sucks.
Yeah, like Fort Hood.
Oh, Fort Hood. Whoa. It is the great place.
Okay, calm down there, Mr. Hulu.
No, Fort Hood isn't a...
No, a lot of people
Fort Hood.
think Fort Hood is Texas, but
it's not. Exactly, it's not. Fort Hood actually isn't a bad... And see, that's the thing. I look at posts for like something to do as a soldier, not posts as... Because, when you...
What state it's in.
Yeah, what state is in. I mean, or the state of the post, because sometimes the post can be pretty fucked up. But I've been to posts in Alabama that have just nothing for fucking soldiers to do, and they don't have the resources or the training area space to do some of this training. Fort Hood, 348 square miles of fucking pure Texas tundra for you to go fuck up. Fort Bragg, 246 square miles, 246 square miles to include impact areas, drop zones, fucking airborne.
I forgot Fort Campbell. We got pretty good size.
Fort Campbell exactly. Fort Campbell's got some good
Fort Bliss.
Fort Bliss, good fucking place to go training. Those are stuff like that. Again, if you just don't do it, but if you use that to say, well, I like being an American because yeah, you know what? Be stationed overseas. When you're stationed overseas and you get introduced, like when you're hanging out, you go in Germany and shit. You go in the club, hello, and I speak German, right? Or the languages that I speak. And the first thing they say is, fuck Bush. I'm like, whoa, well, that's what I'm here for. No, fuck George Bush. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Why are you talking about George Bush? I'm trying to get some ass. You know what I mean? Why would you even talk about, we're here dating, we're throwing drinks at each other, we're hanging out and all this stuff, and the first thing you say is fuck Bush. Would I be happy with California being a independent country? You know what? The state can do whatever the fuck they want. However, they would have to survive the Insurrection Act, part of the Constitution that prevents a country from seceding, or a state from seceding.
I mean, they just had another assault weapons turn in, so
of course
their whole chances of seceding is slim to none.
Well, I mean, the when you kind of look at that, California though, they just had their bills fail because a lot of it that they're saying, they say fuck the government, we don't like the fucking government, fuck you government, and the next thing you know, the Oroville Dam breaks. Hey, government, we need some money. So,
yeah,
pretty fucking hypocritical. California wouldn't survive secession. That's right, they wouldn't. Now there are proposals right now to divide California into 6 states. The six-state plan, which I wouldn't mind it because I know which states are the ones that are totally fucking retarded, I don't know what state part will be created to be a more, I don't know. I don't want to say conservative, but just like leave me the fuck alone state. That's the kind of state that I like. I like to leave me
Libertarian?
No, it's not just don't fuck with me state. You know what I mean? Maybe that should be maybe I should run for office for one of these states that are there for governor.
Name it Don't Fuck With Me.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of having like the show me state, it should be like the don't fuck with me state.
That's called New Hampshire, live free or die.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm going to retire in New Hampshire, because I can live free
New Hampshire.
or die.
New Hampshire.
Oh God, you say that with my wife around, I'll get beat.
New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Hey, Brian, it's Branko. Shut the fuck up, Ice. Fucking right the mother.
Where is Branko?
He's been on and off. But anyways, yeah, there's nothing wrong with Texas. I'm not saying anything's wrong with the fucking states. I'm just saying I'm not preferred to the states that I want to live in. Pretty much the whole southern fucking portion of the country is game for me to retire. The Midwest is actually game for me to retire. Anything out west, further west, like fucking Oregon, California, stuff like that, ain't gonna see me out there, man. Fuck it. So, anywho. So yeah, shout out to fucking Kansas City. Good on you, man. Again, God. Yeah, now I'm gonna have to buy a ball cap.
Let me know what color so I can get the tracksuit to match it.
It's fucking blue, dude. You don't fucking know that? The only color that should be blue. Texas Rangers color. Blue. Dodger. Blue. KC. Blue. In case you hadn't fucking noticed, what's my favorite color? Blue. So, anyways. So I'm gonna take a break. Top of the hour. I know you guys are tired of hearing me pontificate about how great our country is, but it is. If you don't fucking like it, then get out. Trying to take your nerves. I got to kill the Facebook live feed. I'm surprised that Facebook, in their weird ways, has not pulled me from this for saying I'm proud to be an American and all this American stuff. Let me see if I'm still on the feed. Trying to take your nerves. Yep, I am. I'm on the feed. Nobody tried to take my jobs yet, so. I'm killing the Facebook live feed right now, so we can play some tunes. We're going to take a break while our guests come on. And then once our guests come on, you hear it. And then we're ready to listen to the guys from the Walk of Life talk about their experiences and all that. And looking forward to it. So, y'all get some shots. And then, America. Shots.
Shots.
Woman, you need
Relax and take notes while I take totes of the marijuana smoke. Throw you in a choke, gun smoke, gun smoke. Biggie Smokes for mayor, the rap slayer, the hooker layer. Motherfucker, say your prayers. Hail Mary, full of grace. Smack the bitch in the face, take her Gucci bag and a North Face off her back. Jab her if she act funny with the money. Oh, you got me mistaken, honey. I don't wanna rape ya, I just want the paper, the visa, Capisha. I'm out like the vapor. Who's the one you call Mr. Macho? The head macho, swiftest like Macho. I got so much style, I should be down with the stylistics. Make up to break up, niggas need to wake up. Smell the Indonesia, beat you to a seizure. Then fuck your mom, fit the skin to amnesia. She don't remember shit, just the 2 hits. Her hitting the floor, and me hitting the clicks. Sucking on the tits, had the hooker begging for the dick. And your mom ain't ugly, love, my dick got rocked quick. I guess I was a combination of House of Pain and Bobby Brown. I was pumping around and jumping around. After then I asked her who's the man, she said B.I.G. Then I bust in her E.Y.E. Dead wrong.
This is Skinhead Rob from Transplants. You listen to the Mashup Hour with DJ Mugg.
You got it going on. You're dead wrong. The weak of the strong. You got it going on. You're dead wrong.
Change the pain on your flip like a convict. The boom vicar. Jump in the accurate figure after I stick ya. Rip you like a razor. Straight up any with no chaser. Watch me erase you, misplace ya. Put you in the back with the derelict. Yeah, I pop funny shit. Jump, I'm making hits. No time for the crack rocking shit. Took it to another level. Now I'm getting crazy paints, getting paid from the devil. Another amateur trying to damage the pedigree of the B.I.G. G.I.E. You know it's me. Holmes, I thought you know I'm smooth as a baby's ass. Smooth as Teddy Pendergrass. Smoke the grass, get in your ass. The Brooklyn born, test floor dawn, breaking shots, getting props, proving nobody drops. Words is potent as the blunt smoking Bed-Stuy bandit.
and niggas just can't understand it. I bust a cap for the brothers in Mac, Comstock, and Clinton. You know my shit is hitting. Yeah, y'all the fly nigga, big and small. Get paper, make a nigga wanna dig up in their drawers. With the burner, catch a body, I got styles like karate. Jiu-jitsu, when I hit you, then I split you like a cantaloupe. Hope you got a rope to hang yourself. I roll for self from Brooklyn. Where else? Back like a Lexus coupe, I ripped your troop. Not even Lois Lane could get the scoop. What, you think I'm stupid? My crew is mad deep. I hope you niggas sleep. Yo, big, you're dead wrong. You got it going on. I'm show you motherfucker with no fucking family, no fucking friends, no fucking life.
Baggage with an overhaul. With the evil you never seen before. Gliding in the glaze and like gold in the fucking face. Like a racing with the face so. Not goofy like there ain't a hate so. I'm a hip-hop making it nice with practice me running that you know. All right. We'll drive our ships to new land. Fight the home, sing and cry. Valhalla, I am coming. Remain calm, no belong, cause my form ain't fast. So what's up with that? I got friends and family that I respect. When I think I'm too good, they put me in check. So believe when they say I'm no better than you. Except when I rap, so I guess it ain't true like that. Joel, and you just don't stop. Guaranteed to make your body rock. Check it out. What's it all about? Work it out. Turn this party out. Check it out. What's it all about? Work it out. Turn this party out. Say that what's the condition? I'm a man that's on a mission. Son, you better listen. Stuck in your wall is an electrician. Like the scientist. When I'm applying this method of controlling my mind like I rap the Juku Plus. Now, hey, nigga, but now what the deal? I didn't know you go for that mass appeal. So I'm calling to Luigi. Somehow, but they stole your mic, but you won't see it later. Cause I work magic like a magician. I add up the mathematician of the bank cashier. Engineer, I wear cotton and I don't wear your. Always sleep. Shazam, an abracadabra. On the rip, I'm going to cruise past ya. Don't money, don't jump yourself. Put that back on the shelf. Brains blazing, yeah, I'm amazing. My crew's amazing. We're working on the record, just stick that shit. Just stick that shit. Check it out. What's it all about? We're working out. Turn this party out. Check it out. What's it all about? Now I go by the name of the King Admiral. I don't wear a cup nor a job. I bring the that's beyond bizarre, like Miss Piggy. I am the one with the clientele. You say I'd rock, you rock so well. I got class like pink champagne. Let's see, ain't got the microphone, the mic goes stale. Always see.
Yeah, you can't front on that.
Is that actually a picture of the Antichrist crying? I like it. It's tasty.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
All right, we're back. Welcome back to WTFNationRadio.com. Got our guests today, Joseph Cox and Adam Lingle from Walk of Life. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Not much. Resting our feet.
I was about to say, aren't you guys like tired?
Yeah. These end up being really long days.
I was about to say, dude, because it's a worthy hump, and the way I see it, I think you guys can go ahead and tell us a little bit better to give the nation and the audience what exactly you're trying to do. So go ahead and tell us about yourself, guys.
Well, this was an idea, I guess, I pitched on our old battalion website about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years. It started out, I figured, hey, because we're not the first ones to do one of these long walks, these long journeys, actually. His name escapes me, but it was a World War I vet that said he was going to walk off the war after World War I, and he's actually the one that discovered the Appalachian Trail. So, and there is something cathartic about doing the long journeys. It's supposed to be a healing experience. But at the same time, Joe and I, we had so many friends in the military who deployed with us. Some of those guys survived several tours, and then they came back and committed suicide. So we decided to kind of give it more of a purpose. And then after we started the planning, one of our good friends that was probably one of our biggest cheerleaders, he posted up his suicide note on Facebook and killed himself. So that just gave us kind of more reason to push on with it.
Now, did you at all think that it would start to gain traction? Because I noticed you're starting to get some followers.
Well, at first, no. When we left to head out to LA, we had about 300 and something people following us, and most of them were personal friends and guys we'd served with. But we never. Thankfully, it has. I mean, we met a lot of good groups along the way, and people like you guys helping us out, really trying to get a good, solid message out.
It's been an adventure, that's for sure.
Now, you've also attracted attention from other veterans that are also our allies. And
there are some other groups. There are quite a few groups actually that do different walks.
Yeah, and that's where Monica comes in. The young lady that's walking with us now. She actually does essentially the same type of things we're doing, only she does it in the UK.
Yeah.
So now we're gaining international traction, and hopefully going to be able to help out. And in the future, we actually want to do a lot of the stuff like they do, and not only just do it, but maybe to actually do it with them and bring other groups and get them involved in it.
Yeah, we do have a guest that's she walked with us today actually. She came from the UK. Her name is Monica.
Hi.
Hey, whoa, okay. Hey, what's up, Monica?
Hey guys.
Go ahead and get your British jokes ready for her.
I've heard
We've been
all
messing
the
with her all day.
I'm waiting.
No, you're right. White spot. Did I say that right? I guess you're okay. I'm good. I don't know. Yeah. Nah, I got no jokes, man. What made you decide to do it, Monica? What made you?
Come on.
Well, lots. No.
All the Gordon Ramsay jokes you could make.
Yeah, we had our tea and crumpets. We had to stop for tea.
I was about to say, yeah. Is that why it's taking you so freaking long? Because all these tea and crumpets shit that you're all drinking on the way.
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
So Monica actually, she heard from us or about us because what happened?
I saw a post on Instagram from the actor Gary Sinise, who's obviously a big supporter of veterans, and he posted about Joe and Adam doing the Walk of Life, and I happened to be planning a trip around the USA to catch up with some friends I hadn't seen in about a decade. And while I was planning the trip, I realized that we may sort of cross paths in Missouri, and so once I realized that was a possibility that I could come out, I changed a couple of plans. Originally, I was supposed to head down to Florida, and obviously it's a little bit windy and wet down there right now. So,
yeah, it's sort of kind of. Well, you're British, you're used to that
I changed
shit.
a couple of plans there, and I was due to go to Vegas, but I decided,
she chose us over Vegas.
I cancelled Vegas, and I came down here instead for a couple of days to walk with them.
To walk with them. Okay, cool. Yeah.
And now look at it.
Yeah.
You get a little national press here from WTF.
I know.
You're
not what I expected at all.
No, of course not. So yeah, I'm gonna make fun of your accents, fucking. I'm just messing with you. So
It's fine, you can try the accent too.
well, that's okay. Some accents are cool. Don't get me wrong. There's just we're I guess you could say we're distant cousins anyway. So on the national front, and you law armies have helped us out in the global war on terrorism. So yeah, you're our brothers and sisters too. So tell us your tell us your background. Are you been in the military before?
No, I've never served in the military. My dad, brother-in-law, they both served when they had to. But no, I kind of started out with working with Help for Heroes a few years ago. I was looking for something to do. Found them on a website, so I did a trek for them, and then I gave them a ring to see if they needed any volunteers, and that's how I started working with them. I go down to their offices, making phone calls, whatever they needed to do really, bucket collections. I do a trek for them every year.
Yeah, they do a long trek as well.
Yeah, we do a day trek once a year. Sort of, it's a 26-mile walk. I take part in that, and we also do longer treks as well, like Base Camp, Everest Base Camp. They've done a trek to the Great Wall of China. They did a trip to Burma back in March. We do something called the Big Battlefield Bike Ride.
Yeah.
We'll ride coast to coast across the UK. And so before I left, when I knew that I was going to meet up with the guys, I spoke to the gang down at Heroes and I said, look, do you think it'd be possible for me to do a story on them? Because they've started up a branch of the charity called Hidden Wounds to deal with a lot of PTSD, alcoholism, depression that the veterans are suffering with over there.
Yeah, of course.
A report out in the UK estimates that over 66,000 UK veterans are gonna need some sort of support, lifelong support, eventually. So I asked them if I could come out and do a story on Adam and Joe, like a real human interest piece, find out more about what they're doing and who they are. And yeah, so here I am. And before I also spoke to them about possibly doing some sort of walk with them next year. Is there any way that, if they keep going with the Walk of Life, and I hope they do, it's incredibly worthwhile what they're doing. If we can plan something next year, I'll get a bunch of Brits to come over and we'll trek with them somewhere.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things we've been hearing is hey, are you guys doing this again next year?
It's like, let them finish first, but there's potential. There's a huge amount of potential if I in some small part can get some support going from Help for Heroes back in the UK, and if they can get the support they need over here in the US, get some sponsorship, businesses behind them, and keep raising the awareness that they're doing. I mean, they're 3,500 strong so far. It can only keep building, really.
No, of course.
Who knows where they can go? They're good guys. I've spent less than 24 hours with them, but they're doing an amazing job already. They're absolutely determined. So I'm glad I came.
We're over halfway. So that's our goal was to make it to DC in 22 weeks.
And I don't know if we've got a bad connection or what, but I could have swore I just heard somebody say that ICE volunteered to walk with us next year.
Well, you know what? I might be retired, so fuck yeah, dude. Maybe 22 miles of it. How about that?
It's got to be true, man. We heard it on the internet.
No.
Can't put it on the internet if it's not true.
Oh, damn it. You guys stop blowing my purse out. So Monica, did it seem odd to you that you just, you said you flew here to visit some friends that you hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Are you glad that you didn't spend your round trip ticket back? How are you going to keep that ticket for posterity too? That this is the ticket that I'm supposed to be back on, and now almost 22 weeks later, I'm still freaking marching with these dudes. How does your family feel about it? What does your dad and your brother feel about that?
Oh no, I'm only walking with them for a couple of days, but like I've spent a little bit of time with them. If I could stay and walk with them for longer, then I would. But I have friends to catch up with. But no regret. I'll be honest, when I told my mum worries about everything. She's a mum.
Of course.
When I said to her that I was going to meet up with these two veterans that are walking across America, she was like, text me when you get there. Are you going to be okay? What are you doing? Like typical mother.
Of course.
But
she's safe. Promise.
I set up my mother on Facebook just so she could follow me. And she's fine. She's been liking the photos. I spoke to my sister earlier. My sister spoke to these two, so I think everybody's everybody's down. Everyone's fine. So
we're crazy, but not that crazy.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, exactly.
They're good guys. I have no worries at all.
Well, are you gonna take this back to British media as well? So that way you could show them what you've done and what we're doing, what these guys are doing.
Definitely going to take it back to Help the Heroes. They're following me already, and hopefully if I can write a piece on them, well, I'm definitely writing about them.
Of course.
If we can get it out on the Help the Heroes webpage, on their social media sites, if I can get my friends following them as well, then it's a start. But you know, British people, you know, they love to do, you know, different crazy things. If I can definitely get people out here trekking.
Yeah,
if it's something they'd be interested in. Like I said, if the guys to, you know, to Washington, they then have to go home. They have to, you know, they have to reconnect with their family and friends. But if it's something they're looking to take further, then I'd love to be able to help them out in some small way. Like I said, the more backing they have, the better it is for them, and, you know, to raise as much awareness as possible. Because, you know, 22 a day, these statistics, these numbers are massive. You know, it needs to.
Yeah, it's.
It needs to come down. It not only needs to come down, it needs to disappear. Really.
Of course,
you know,
of course,
of course. Bigger, a lot bigger.
Well, not only that, but they're also saying that the statistics are actually a little bit larger. It fluctuates. It'll fluctuate between 20 to almost 25 to 30. You know what I mean? It's a fluctuation. It's not just stuck now at. You know what I mean? The statistics are not that much, but.
Thing to change that.
What's that?
One of the reports I read that based it on at 20 said that it was only reporting from 14 states. And then those states, not necessarily all of them, report the military status.
Correct.
And then different things get kind of misconstrued. You know, there's some of the forms of suicide that people choose get wrote off as an act.
Yeah, they'll consider it almost like
Veterans a day. That's over 8,000 a year. And I mean, you know, if the Army were losing 8,000 guys a year, they would be doing something about it. You know.
Yeah, a lot of it should be emphasis on the resources and programs that need to go to assist. Because there might be some guys that you don't even know that could be affected by it.
Well, for sure. But you know, one of the main things that I've started to realize is that there are a lot of veterans out there that they simply don't look for the help, and that's something. I mean, they've got to make that step and get the help that they need.
Yeah, they do. They do. So
that's attached to it.
It's no different than the stigma we put just, you know, every day doing PT. You know, you see that one guy going to sick call.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to do that whole.
Of course,
of
course.
Hey, when are you going to sick call? There's a stigma.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Oh, I know the feeling.
We created it, so it's that has to change it.
Yeah. I was injured on a jump, and my peers were breaking my balls about not jumping. Well, dude, I'm like half in a body cast and shit. Why the hell? What do you mean? Of course I'm not gonna jump. Why'd you go to sick call? Because I got bones sticking out of my freaking side.
Right.
So
and you're still a sick call ranger at the end of the day.
Wait till you get out and all those injuries start adding up, and you go, man.
Yeah. And no, they yeah.
I can't blame anybody. You know, every day when we start walking, my feet hurt so bad.
So
and it was simple injuries.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
I could have got fixed a long time ago. I don't want to be a sick call ranger.
Exactly. So So tell us a little bit how far you've gotten so far.
Let's see. We haven't even counted up mileage yet. Our halfway point was in Joplin, and that was what, 4 days ago.
4 days ago. Now we're actually out to Lebanon, Missouri.
We just passed Lebanon, yeah, and we're actually getting to the outskirts of Fort Leonard Wood.
Oh wow. Okay.
We're camped here in Fort Leonard Wood, and we're gonna try to go on post and hopefully try to do some stuff and see how well that works.
Yeah.
But, right now we're actually staying. Hate to do the plug, but we're staying at the Lamplight Lane RV Resorts. These guys do a lot. They help out a lot of the different other stuff. They helped us out a lot on this.
Yeah.
And he was telling us about different groups that have come through here doing stuff with Fort Leonard Wood.
Yeah.
And these guys always take care of them.
Yeah, no, of course. No, there's nothing wrong with that. What was that? Say that plug it again. What was that?
It's the Lamplight Lane RV Resort at Glen Oaks.
It's right outside Fort Leonard Wood.
It's a nice little campground. You know, they've been really, really helpful.
Yeah, a lot of veterans here.
The weather is really nice, so they not only let us park our RV here, they gave us room to fit to 10 if we wanted to.
And the owner, John, he's a veteran himself, so.
So yeah,
veterans are welcome.
So give us a typical. I mean, give us a okay. You're about ready to start, and you wake up in the morning and go. What's your day like?
Complain, drink coffee, complain.
Yeah, lots of coffee. We're up by 4 usually every morning.
Every day is a little different. We go out and literally we try to start at safe light.
Yeah, we recon the route the night before, so we more or less know where it's.
The roads aren't that great, so we have to wait till we have good adequate light.
Yeah, and the road we're walking 66 doesn't have much of a shoulder to walk on, so you've got to wait till daylight usually. when we were coming through Death Valley and through the desert, the traffic wasn't that bad, and you could use little flashers, you know, on the back of your ruck or whatever, and you would be okay.
So,
but it changes the culture further east you get.
Yeah, of course. Also, it's going to be more terrain and a little bit different type of weather too. So what?
Yeah, the rolling hills.
Yeah, rolling hills, exactly.
We're in the Ozarks now, so it's lots of rolling hills.
So what? So
we'll be hitting the Appalachians.
I was about to say. So you'll be hitting the Appalachians, then you'll see some mountains. So you're gonna wake up in the morning, you get some coffee, stretch out, get some more coffee, drink some water, and then you start humping. And then what? Yeah. The middle of the day, you just take a break and then start again afterwards until.
We set mileage the day that we have to hit, because obviously we're on a timeline. We can't fall behind, but we also can't really specific time.
Yeah, and there are people that are going to meet us further ahead.
So we stick to that daily mileage so that we don't get too far ahead.
Yeah. Originally, this plan was set up for 5 guys.
Yeah.
And we, you know, things happened. A couple guys had to back out. One guy got Lyme's disease. He actually flew out to California. So we were supposed to have an internal rotation, like to give your feet a little bit of a rest. So, you know, 2 guys were supposed to drive the vehicle and take care of logistics while 3 walked, and then we would rotate out. So we didn't have a lot of days off, you know, for recovery and stuff. Because, you know, when you're walking that amount of miles every day, your feet do need a little time to recover.
Of course.
So once we got to and then it ended up just being me and Joe, we had to readjust the plan.
Now we basically do a bounding overwatch.
We do a bounding overwatch just like you do in the Army. You know, he covers me, I cover you. Joe had a heart attack, what, 3 years ago? 2 years ago. He's old Joe Dirt here, man. He's pushing 50.
That's what I'm talking about.
We ain't no spring chicken like our major used to say.
Well, damn right. I'm right there with you, man. Team old.
So normally what we do is he takes his heart medication. I usually start out the first. We split the mileage up into legs basically. So while his heart medication kicks in, I do the first 4 miles. I check on him. He starts his 4 miles, and then we leapfrog basically. So the mileage we have for the day, we split it between the 2.
It was a blessing and a curse that those guys backed out.
Yeah.
You know, with them backing out and us having to do the bounding overwatch, we literally walk half the mileage we're supposed to. But the downside is
we have to take care of all the logistics, and our days are long.
And that has to be after we do our walk.
We get done with the walk, and then we have to jump camp, you know, and take care of all the other things.
So it's like occupying. Yeah, so it's like occupying a patrol base, pretty much.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every you know, we have our starting points and our finish points, and every day we have to truck out to those. And when our base camp starts getting too far out for us to truck every day, then we have to push our base camp forward.
Now,
and we never know where that's going to be. You know, you kind of have to go just do it on the fly. But I mean, this is exactly the kind of shit we did in the Army.
I was about to say, yeah. So so you said you have an RV, so your RV is pretty much your log pack, running.
Well, it's not a. Yeah, it's a car hauler basically that's been modified. That's our CP.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You know, we use that as our support vehicle for water and all that stuff.
And I noticed some of the pictures that you guys posted on your Facebook page. You guys also are going through some of your own hometowns, like you're driving through your house, your neighborhood, your house that you lived in when you were as a kid. Tell us about that. What was it? Was that on purpose?
I had no idea that the route was going to take us past there.
Yeah.
And it was a couple blocks up, so I decided, hey, what the heck? I might as well go check out the old house.
Yeah.
So, but I graduated high school in Springfield, and actually I joined the Army from there.
Mine and Monica's hometowns were a little bit too far for us to walk to, but at least I did get to hit Texas.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monica. Yeah, she's probably laughing because trying to hit her where she's from would be a little bit too.
More.
I'll tell you, the coolest thing about this walk so far is a lot of the Gold Star families, guys that were in our battalion that were killed in Iraq have actually taken the time to come out and walk with us, and that's been amazing.
Now, I was about to ask you. Now, some of your members of your unit, are they along the route? Was the route set up that way to where they can all meet you along the route, or it's just coincidence?
It just happened to work out that way.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Joe started counting the amount of guys from the battalion that we've walked with, and it's well over 30.
Well, the Gold Star families that came out, they were not along the route.
No, they
first
drove,
one. Yeah. They drove from Oregon and met us in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
The second set drove from Kansas and met us in Amarillo.
Yeah.
The third family we met, we actually canceled the walk for a day and snuck into Lubbock, Texas, to be at the wedding of one of the friend of our sister.
His sister was getting married, and yeah, we crashed the wedding. We surprised them. It was a good experience. But we have had members from our battalion. I mean, our old sergeant major walked
one day with us.
One day. He got us lost too. He didn't want me to talk about it.
You know, you start you start losing your land nav skills at sergeant major. You do, definitely. So we got questions. We got questions in the Facebook live chat. Did you come through Vail in Colorado? Did you go through that area?
No. Our route's been we've stuck to basically the old Route 66.
Gotcha.
We're taking that all the way to St. Louis, and then we're headed east on US 50, which has been dubbed the loneliest highway in America.
Yeah.
And that takes us straight over the Appalachians and down into DC.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
we got people. We got
the news on.
Yeah, we got people.
11th, we're going to go to the gates of Arlington.
Oh man, there's people right now in the Facebook live chat right now that are saying that they call them for they'll support you for if you need a driver next year. Catherine, I think don't you drive like a big rig truck or some shit like that?
Well, it's a 50 Super Duty, so it's almost like a big rig.
Yeah, I was about to say
it's a pretty big truck.
Yeah, you guys.
What we're hoping to do is get a lot of guys to see on Veterans Day with us. That would be our biggest hope. So we'll see if that happens.
Well,
the invitation's out.
Yeah, well, yeah, invitation's out. You also on your you got like a GoFundMe on your Facebook
we
page.
We have a GoFundMe. It offsets the cost of basic. It cost us over $11,000 just to get the trailer ready, new tires on the truck, and all that stuff. So it's offsetting some of the cost. Most of it comes out of our pocket. But we do get a lot of donations on the street. A lot of people just hand us money, man. It's we've gotten a lot of support, and people bring us cases of water. The support we've gotten has been absolutely amazing. Honestly, it's kind of restored my faith in the America I was kind of angry at for a while.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard what I was talking about earlier about having to apologize for being American, how no one should ever have to apologize for being American. I went on a rant right before you guys came on, and I was pretty fired up.
Don't worry, it happens to all of us.
Yeah,
trust me.
I was getting riled up, and I hear you. Well, shit. Let me hang on. Let me do some real quick Facebooking right quick, and I will post it right now to the Facebook live chat. So if you guys go to the Facebook live chat, and if you could post that, someone post that shit in Mixer, in the Mixer.com chat.
I'm waiting for my computer to catch up.
If they go on Facebook, all they got to do is search for a Walk of Life.
Yeah.
And you'll see our Route 66
It's a
sign.
Route 66 with a sunset sign.
Make sure you hit like while you're on there. That way you can see what we're doing tomorrow.
Yeah. And we do post up our schedule and our routes for people that want to come out and join us.
Oh, okay, cool.
We've had quite a few actually.
And you guys are also on
it's
Twitter
been
too.
Amazing.
You guys are also on Twitter too.
Well, the Twitter we don't monitor as much, but the people that are helping us have it set up so anytime we post to Facebook, it automatically updates to Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, that's good shit.
Man, we're grunts. There's only so much Facebook
grunts
and stuff we can do.
It's a little hard to walk and manage all that stuff at the same time.
You ever tried to type with a hammer?
No, but I put somebody out on fire with a hammer. No, just kidding. I shouldn't say that. But most of the
That's not my preferred weapon of choice.
Hey, thanks, Doc. Hey, so we got your stuff posted, pinned on the Facebook live chat in the U.S. Army WTF moment. So right now, 1 million people are checking out your stuff, and so they can look at it and go ahead and drop some loot. Don't even have to be that much. Maybe $5-10 here and there. I'm pretty sure there's you guys are like a little bit. So,
but honestly, all we really want is for people to cheer us on and don't let us quit, man. That's kind of what the whole thing, the walk of life is about, is you don't let your buddies quit, man.
Exactly that,
When they want to quit, you don't let them quit.
And that's kind of our underlying message,
Yeah, man.
Everybody's pushed for a conversation.
We've had that conversation.
We're trying to push that beyond the conversation. We're trying to get people off the couch.
It's time to do something about people. It. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's really what we want is, literally for people just to get up. And it doesn't take anything more than just walk to your neighbor's house, have a cup of coffee with them.
Exactly.
If your neighbor's cool, the next day invite the neighbor across the street over.
Yep.
And the three of you just sit there and have a conversation.
Yeah. About
the big
anything.
thing is make sure you tell your story and let them know that they're not the only person that's having issues.
Yeah.
That will help someone open up.
We hear that a lot. People say, "Man, I thought I was the only one."
Yeah. Oh yeah. We were talking about, again, we were talking about that earlier, and we were actually kind of talking about the situation about the veterans' suicide issues. I mean, you guys you brought up a good point. Don't talk, act. Don't say, do, and don't promise, prove. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's the way it should be. Your buddies and your veterans, brothers and sisters at your left and your right, if you're willing to take a bullet from the downrange, then you should be able to do the same way when you're out. That's just the way I see it.
Yeah. And there's nothing saying you can't, maintain that alpha roster that you had back in the day and still call guys up and see how they're doing.
Well, that's why
a lot of guys I've fallen out of touch with.
Yeah, well, some people. I didn't want fucking Facebook.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I didn't want Facebook until someone told me about a friend of mine that died, and I'm like, well, how'd you find out about that? And I didn't know about that. Well, yeah, dude, it was on Facebook, and I'm like, and then I started hearing about suicides. I started hearing more about stuff, and come to realize that it's a messaging platform that like I said before, it's a necessary evil. You know what I mean?
It's a tool. It's a tool no different than any other tool. It depends on how you use it.
Exactly.
People blame Facebook for a lot of stuff, but Facebook has never came to my house and made me do something bad.
Exactly.
It's a tool. Use it like it should be.
Yep. So that's why I ended up getting a Facebook account, and because I decided the same thing is that I want to know that it's almost like nobody wants to be forgotten either. You know what I mean? So that right there, if you want to gather your buddies up and you want to hang out, like you were saying about just grabbing a cup of coffee or just seeing how soldiers are doing, or your buddies or whatever, the best way to do it. Hey, I'm passing through your state. What are you doing, man? You want to shoot the shit, drink a beer? Yeah, hell yeah, dude. And then that's it. Don't freaking don't get.
And one thing we've definitely found along the travels is there are so many privately operated groups out there
that offer a lot of help,
and but nobody knows about them. So that's another thing we're doing is we're trying to create like a network coming across, and there's a lot of groups that are crossing borders. Also, one of the first groups we met, it's called MVP. It's Merging Veterans and Players.
Yeah, actually, Randy Couture, actually, he's like, what is
he? And Nate Boyer and Jay Glazer from Fox News, they're the co-founders of it.
Yeah.
They use Extreme Couture gyms, one in LA, and then one in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And every Tuesday they meet up. They go in, they just do a killer workout together, and then they take it to the mat. You got all these guys from different walks of lives, and basically they go in and they just have a group conversation about any kind of issues they have, because you stop and think about it, a lot of your professional athletes, they're on top of the world, they're in the media's eyes, they're in charge, they're leaders, and the next day that's all gone. It's no different than the military. When you come out, everything that you were there is gone.
Yep.
So you've got to close out chapter 1 to start chapter 2, and these guys are doing that, but they're crossing formats, and they've really found that the issues themselves are really one and the same.
Yeah.
It's just two different modes of travel, and they're trying to find a way to merge it.
Yeah, and the young guy that's running that, Denver Morris, he's an interesting guy. I got a lot of respect for him. He's a former Marine.
Crayon eater.
Yeah, former crayon eater. But Denver, he was actually one of the 22 for 12 minutes. He committed suicide, and they brought him back.
Oh wow.
And he's
the kid's unreal. I mean, he's very, very motivational. I mean, just meeting him made this whole trip worth it. Just to kind of hear him tell his story, and it's not necessarily a story, but it's the way he tells it, and just the way it all came about. And it really shows that there's good people even in Hollywood and in pro sports that really care.
Yeah, and this goes to show that, I mean, you could be in the worst place of your life, and still claw your way back, man. I think a lot of times guys feel like they've let everybody down, that they're backed in a corner, and that there is no other option, and that's why they make that choice. But there's other ways, man. You can bounce back.
There's also great civilian, and she represented a group called Defeat the Stigma.
Yeah.
They're not veteran oriented per se, but their entire goal is to defeat the stigma about all mental health issues and make sure no one's judged for getting help. Yeah. And like we just talked about earlier, that's one of the big things is that stigma. So you get groups like this, and I think, especially using platforms like the one you have, like you said, you reach 1 million people. We don't. We're around 3,500 now, but using platforms like this, and you guys taking time out of your normal shows to talk about this, I think we can all kind of group together and make a difference.
Oh, we're not taking time, brother. This is our mission, to support the veterans and the veteran community and active and retired and reserve community. This is our mission. This is our charter. So this start here, it's our bread and butter, bro. You are actually helping us with this, with our endeavor. So we're, like you said, it's beneficial. It's back and forth, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. One team, one fight.
Exactly. Exactly, man. Well, hey guys, thanks for coming on. What's that? I'm sorry.
What was that, Joe?
I said we definitely got to start crossing lines. If we isolate ourselves as a military community from the public in general, we're also isolating ourselves from the help that they offer.
Exactly.
So we need to be a little more open-minded and kind of expand our horizons.
Exactly that. Hey, Monica, I have one more question for Monica. So, are you gonna post something out? Are you gonna publish something out for this walk when you get back to the UK?
Yeah, I'm writing a story about them, just a piece. I asked Help for Heroes before I left if I could do that. So when I'm done writing, I'm scribbling at the moment. Like I said, as I'm getting to know these guys over the next couple of days, and then I'm going to send it back to the UK because I don't go home until October.
Oh, okay.
I'm still traveling, and hopefully Help for Heroes will publish it either on their website, the social media pages.
Of course.
And the more interest I can get for them over there, and like I said, if there's any way we can combine our efforts, and like I said, if these guys decide to do more next year, a walk, a bike ride, anything, it'd be good to collaborate and get more people involved. Like I said, it's not just an American problem; it's both sides of the pond. I'm sure in other countries as well. In mainland Europe and Australia, it's PTSD or mental health. It's a massive issue. It's a bigger issue now. And it needs more attention. And like Joe and Adam both said, there's still a huge stigma attached to it. And but like the simple things, as Joe said, have a conversation. Talk to someone. I remember I was at work one day and I was talking to a staff member about sort of volunteering. She mentioned that her husband was in the Royal Air Force. I had no idea. She's just somebody I'd come across, once every, few weeks or so. And she ended up telling me about her husband and the PTSD that he was going through. And so we just had a really good talk. And even she said that she didn't know about sort of the work that charities do in the UK, and you have one simple conversation like that over a cup of coffee or and it's amazing the impact you can have on someone, and that's what these guys are trying to do. They're trying to spread the message, keep spreading it, keep getting more people involved, and the more people you can help, the better.
Well, we actually had a ride that we had to postpone that we were supposed to have been doing this week. So this week I wasn't going to be hanging out with in the studio. I was going to be hanging out with the guys. They were going to do a functional veteran ride, and the guys were going to ride from Savannah start at 9 Line and go to Fort Stewart, go to Fort Gordon, and then stop at Ride on Bikes in Fort Benning. So, and it was all to bring awareness to the functional veteran. I mean, because everyone, like you were talking about that stigma, that veterans we're supposed to be coming back from the military into the civilian world and bringing those good attributes about being a soldier into the community to better it. So, at all, we're not supposed to.
Yeah, you kind of cut out there at the end.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Yeah, you cut out there at the end. We couldn't.
I think our connection might be
our connections.
Connections going to shit. Well, we're just basically saying that we're doing the same thing with the functional veteran awareness is what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to remove the stigma. So, but anyways, hey guys, stay on the line so that way Mom can get your digits and more some more detailed information. But we really appreciate you guys coming on because we want you guys to come back and also see what the status of your your walk is, man. We want to see you guys go all the way. You know what I mean?
We really appreciate it, man.
So
we really do.
Hey, I said keep up the hard work.
You keep up the hard work, brother. That's what we're here for. So, all right. So, anyways, y'all have a good one. And then, like I said, stay on the line with Amy, and then we'll go ahead and take a break right quick. Shots.
All right, man. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Is that actually a picture of the Antichrist crying? I like it. It's tasty.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
Put on your uniform right?
Expert Action Badge.
Show up to work on time.
Expert Action Badge.
Qualify on your weapon.
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
Find your guidon.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right. Just doing your normal warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Action Badge.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack. Lounging black, smoking sacks up in axe and sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but front for me to start something. Bugging and bucking at niggas like I was duck hunting. Dumbing out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is hugs from the honeys, pound from the roughnecks. See my man say that I knew from the projects. Said he had beef, asked me if I had my piece. Sure do, 222s in my shoes. Holla if you need me, love, I'm in the house. Roman Strong. Bitches in the back looking righteous. In a tight dress, I think I might just hit her with a little Biggie 101. How to tote a gun and have fun with Jamaican rum conversation. Blunts in rotation. My man Big Jock got the Glock in his waist and we're smoking, drinking. Got the hooker thinking, if money smell bad, then this nigga big is stinking. Is it my charm? I got the hookers eating out my palm. She grabbed my arm and said, let's leave calm. I'm hitting skins again. Roll up another blunt, what a Heineken. Niggas thought the loke out, a kid got choked out, blows were stoned, and a fucking fight broke out.
You said you'd never ever break down.
Some of the people appointed to give an opinion never do get it. I want you to come on and gobble like Jimmy and die. Need to be given the remedy and why critics are really the enemy and can't stand the way they slam today's gifted. Effing incredible, get fanned away with grants to pay. This gem well a scripted, definite impeccable. Rada rhyme to put everything in a flow. I'm the non, I'ma look very mean when I'm foe. Scribalometer has never been at a show. By the time it'll be better living in the stove. Cause they wrote nothing but lies, quotes stuck in my eyes. Amateur writer dissing. He's a beginner and hopes for your demise. Folks, some are despised, never do try to listen. It's real, I'm mad. Clueless when you scribble on your pad. How you gonna criticize with a chisel on your nazzle in your ass? You don't really get why I'm so pissed. Understand this. Understand this. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my Yes, I'm.
me that my We've been here before.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Can you imagine if Cause talked like that all the time? That would be funny as shit. So, anyways.
He would need like stock and helium.
Yeah, exactly. We're back to part 3 of the Monday edition. The September 11th, 2017. Had the guys on there earlier from the Walk of Life. I had to like kind of cut it because there were some connection problems and stuff. So usually when I reboot it, I didn't want to sit there and have to reboot it and then you guys not get the full interview entertainment value of what they were talking about. We're gonna follow these guys, so I think we should check out their stuff. And so if you want to go on there, we popped the link on there.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, let me know when it's on there so that way I can pin it, so that way you guys can see their stuff. I love it. I freaking love the fact that these guys are doing this stuff to bring awareness to the issues that are dealing with our veterans today. And I'm glad that people are trying to understand now. Trying to understand the veteran psyche is better than at least trying to ignore the veteran psyche, if that makes any sense.
It does, boss. Like I had something wrong with my microphone. I wasn't able to interject earlier when they were on, but I started doing some math, and because the current statistic is by the VA from 2014, they're saying an average of 20 veterans die each day from suicide. So I did the freaking math, and 20 a day for an entire year is 7,300 of our brothers and sisters that choose to do that.
Yeah, I don't understand. Again, what? Now, don't get me wrong. There are some veterans that just straight. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna be blunt about it. You guys know how I feel about the suicide thing. That you and that's what the guys were saying. You have to ask for help. If you sit around the house and not do anything, and you get all mopey and say nobody wants to help me, but you've not even reached a hand out, or a hand up, I should say, because we don't give handouts, then don't exacerbate your problem. If I have an issue, I need to talk to somebody, I just usually blurt it out. Hey, look at this. I'll send somebody a Facebook thing or whatever. A Facebook PM and all, because I'm trying to understand technology, and they're like, all right, it's 2 a.m. But send them a message. I mean, find out what's going on. Hey, you up? Hey, I need to talk to you about something right quick, just to bounce something off before it starts rolling into something. What those guys are doing, man, I'm telling you what, it's money. What they're doing. Joseph Cox and Adam Lingo from Walk of Life. I wonder where they're gonna be. We should track to see if there's anybody from the WTF Nation radio staff, or maybe you guys should go ahead and send us your pics. let us know what's going on with them. If you find them, if you find their way and you follow their Facebook, Deuces for Life, Facebook.com/Deuces for Life, then you should be able to track them up. Send them some pics if you rucked with them or walked a little bit. And then they have that, they got Monica with them from the UK is going to write a story. I see this getting a little bit bigger than what we just talked about. You know what I mean? That's just me.
That would be incredible if this branched over across the Atlantic.
I know.
I mean, imagine if it branches past England, it goes to the French or the Germans or whatever. This could be something where there could be a global.
Don't push
like passing the torch.
Yeah, don't push your luck on the fucking Germans and the French. Okay, I'm just talking about our UK brothers. Okay, don't put your luck. I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, just UK, our British cousins. Because they literally are our cousins. As much as you don't want to admit that, if anything else, that there's any other country that we can identify to is Great Britain. Our country's lineage. I'm not saying me specifically or you specifically or anybody else, but I'm talking about the history of the country. Specifically is, did Facebook just fucking get mad at me for posting some shit again? God dang it. Fuck you, Facebook. Hang on, let me see. No, I'm good. But yeah, it's one of those things like you said, KJ. It's just an awareness to our allies, and just you're a veteran. Because once we hang the uniform up, you're not going to be wearing it anymore. Then that's it. Then you look all badass and shit with your uniform on, with all your crazy badges and your look at me, I'm badass. Look at this, I'm cool, and I got all this stuff. Shit in the back, Pogue, and you got all this in your uniform. But once you take your uniform off and you go get in your vehicle to go get a tank of gas, you're just gonna be like another Joe. So you have to, again, the point that I was trying to get across before the web started getting acting all weird. Use the whole idea of being a veteran is to also come back into, which is like I said, the ride that we're gonna do this week. And the whole idea is to remove the stigma. It's that you are a functional veteran. It's okay to be either veteran. It's kind of like the thing about American again. If you're a veteran, you're a veteran. Don't tag yourself. Let everyone know it's okay to use the positive attributes and the I don't know if you want to call it morals. I don't know. I guess you could say the military is a religion in itself, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You have what? Think about it. You have to stand in a group, and you have to salute somebody. That person tells you can leave, and then they make you like recite some freaking cadence, right? And then UDPT, right? That's, then everything has to be structured. Take those positive traits of being in the middle. Everyone's like, oh, Ice, when you retire, you're gonna be doing this and you're gonna be doing that. And I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna be that way. Then I took leave. Holy crap, dude. And then I changed jobs.
I can imagine you saying with the whole military is a religion thing, a sergeant major in a confessional. And some private walks in, forgive me, Sergeant Major, for I have sinned. That's okay, too. Article 15s and 45 half pay.
Well, yeah, exactly, Cause. German marches don't end well sometimes. No, the thing is, yeah, I think in Australia, too. And that's exactly. Australia, yeah, that's right, our Aussies. Our Aussies are saying, hey, come join our military, American soldier. You don't like sucking in the freaking, come to how to speak Australian. Soldier, come join the they join it. Yeah, I didn't think about the Aussies. There are like some good allies too, in dealing with that shit. But no, it's not really a confessional. I mean, it's one of those things to where you also have to, again, hand up. There, when it comes to your life, there is no such thing as a stupid question. And I'm serious. I mean, really is. There's a stupid person if you don't do something, if you don't act on it, then yeah, that was stupid, because you're doing you're providing a temporary a permanent problem for a temporary solution. Hey, you going having some problem with your old lady, having a problem paying bills, having problems with your kids or whatever. I got plenty of kids. Call me up, shoot me, PM me in the freaking inbox, WTF Nation Radio Facebook page. I got plenty of ex-wives too. Hit me up. I'll help you out. Even help you diversify your bonds and shit, so that way you don't get taken to the cleaners, and how to use proper asset management, which how I've been able to survive so many divorces. and not be bankrupt. And still have them chicks not collect your retirement. So I can help you out. Welcome to ISIS Divorces Service. But again, it's offering your hand. Hey man. But then again, if you're going to offer some help, don't be the dickbag that says, yeah, I'm here to help vets. And I'm here to help you out. Hit me up anytime you want. And then you respond you don't respond to a note. You know what I mean? I think since Saturday night. Yeah. Since Saturday night, I've had limited sleep because I've had people call me for issues, BIDs, and stuff like that. Did I want to answer the phone because I was tired? No, because I didn't know who it was. As soon as I saw who it was, hey, what's up? You all right? This happened, that happened, this happened. Oh, well, here's what you need to do. They got me, that awakened my my sergeanting spirit, and I woke up, and then I was up for the rest of the fucking night, so I couldn't sleep. I know. Sometimes, Mom, you ask me, do you even sleep? Because you guys freaking...
I don't.
What? But you guys see me freaking send out crazy messages at, 2:30.
1 o'clock in the morning, my time?
Yeah, exactly. 1 o'clock. Yeah, if it's 1 o'clock in the morning your time, that means it's, late in my time. Really late, super late. So yeah, it's one of those things to where it's just one of those things. If you're going to offer your services to help vets out, then be there when they need help. And that's kind of like the leadership thing. If it's anything else that you can do to save that one soldier from doing something to themselves, and again, everyone's like, you bring up a good point too, KJ, about the confessional. I was actually pretty approachable as a leader. I had no issues with soldiers talking to me because that's where you get the most dirt. I'm gonna give you some sergeanting freaking intel here, some secrets of the sergeanting. That's where I got all my dirt.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know how many times with some of our listeners I've been up until 3, 4 in the morning talking to them.
Yeah,
because they needed someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Other sites that I'm on, I've been, I would put my personal information up there because it's private, and it would be same thing. All of a sudden 6 a.m. I'm brewing a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I got a dude coming over to my house to go shoot some guns.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just the way it is. You just got to kind of, like I said, if you're gonna do the part, it's like I said earlier about that comment that I made about, well, you just don't don't talk about it, do something about it. Then that was a saying that I had said earlier. Don't talk, act. Don't say, do. Don't promise, prove. You shouldn't have to promise anybody. As a veteran, your word is your bond. That's it. You gonna be there for me, man? Yeah, I'm gonna be there for you, man. All right, cool. Hey, I'm gonna check out. You gonna be good? Yeah, I'm good. That's all you need to say. Don't start going, or you need help, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. Our society has developed a specific, how can I say this? There's no resiliency taught. There was something in the Facebook live chat that said earlier that there's no coping skills available now to people these days. Everything's all sensitivity training. If that makes any sense. Sensitive. And so that person becomes doesn't become resilient.
And because of that, it creates its own kind of monster where when they get to that point where the world comes crashing down on them, aka you turn 18, they don't know how to react, and you have the monster we have today.
Yeah. Immediately not thinking about the repercussions of what's going to happen. And it's hard to talk about. No one likes talking about it because everyone's, maybe you'll talk about it. No, I'm not going to talk about it. What are you going to talk about? Talk about it. You have to.
And it's not a matter of, so many people like to blame political party, or they like to blame, they like to blame where the person lives, like New York or California or whatever. But the harsh reality is that people weren't taught the necessary life skills, and now we are reinforcing that. There's a culture of reinforcement that it's going to be okay. Don't you worry about it. And it's distressing.
It is. Now, do you think that also plays into the way society has accepted the way parenting is done now?
I'm sorry, you broke up on me, Ice. What'd you say last?
I'll never break up with you, KJ.
Ooh.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Ender. Anyways, do you think that is different? That the reason why it's like that, like it's an issue, it's because it's just a different type of parenting. Like parenting nowadays is different.
Well, I'm gonna use my my best friend in the world as an example, and his sister. My best friend in the world enlisted, served his time, got out. He's now going to school. You know, he's chosen a career field. You know, 18. Well, fuck. Life happens, and we need to progress forward. His sister, love her to death. She has her backup plan was, I'm going to be a private investigator. And then when you ask the questions, how are you going to be a private investigator? What is the schooling required? What is required to do that? I don't know. I'm just going to do it. And then her backup plan was, I'm going to be an MP. And then
what's wrong with being an MP?
Enlist, well, I'm going to go try the Navy. And she tried all.
So she basically, all her life plans.
I have nothing.
Yeah, or her life plans were not working out to her satisfaction, or she was not putting forth the effort.
Exactly. It was an effort issue.
Yeah.
You know, there was, you have to do this. I don't want to do that.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
I don't want to do that. And that's part of, oh God, here I go again. Instant gratification.
Yeah.
And the lack of education.
It is.
I'm a broken record with this, boss.
Well, I know. But my biggest point is that the lack of education isn't always collegiate.
Oh, I'm not saying collegiate. I'm not saying a collegiate education. I'm saying a general. You know, they don't teach home ec in class. They don't teach home ec. They don't teach shop. They don't teach things that someone can fall back on and make a life out of. And they don't teach common sense anymore. When I was, like I said earlier in the show, I lived in New York during 9/11. Common sense for me. Picked me up from school because I was 9 or 10 years old at the time.
Yeah.
It was shut the hell up and let the adults figure out what the hell's going on, and I'm gonna go sit on the side and do my thing until someone calls me over.
Yeah, exactly.
Today, the 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old is sitting there quoting that Venezuela is a prime example of socialism, screaming that Antifa did nothing wrong. There's so many. It's part of the. Oh, you have a voice. You have an opinion. You know, pandering. It's pandering parenting.
Damn. Oh, man. I didn't think I'd ever hear you say that, but okay. I gotcha. Well, a lot of the things, too, that you were saying, what's taken out of school now. When I was growing up, in the school district that I was at, when you hit a certain grade, you had to make a doorstop out of wood. Everybody in the school district knew, when it was time to freaking... to do a when you're doing a project. Everyone's like, oh, he's in 8th grade. Well, how come? Because everyone's coming home with freaking doorstops. So we had
I remember I had to take home ec. I had to take shop, home ec, and basic mechanics.
Yeah.
And I failed basic mechanics because my dad was a mechanic. So of course, hey Dad, how does this? It does it this way. Go. Done. I don't want you doing with that because my father didn't want me to be a mechanic. But home ec, hey, I know how to fix my own pants. I don't know many other 25, 26, 27-year-olds that could say, hey, I can fix my own pants.
That's true. No, that's a good point. However, like you said about, just some of the parenting, at least you got a trade in. Like me, I was raised to work on engines and trucks and diesel engine, big rigs, and when I went to high school, I was in the shop. I was in advanced shop, tearing apart. The class project at the beginning of the year was to get a piece of shit car running. You know what I mean? And then, your whole goal was to, doing that shit. And like you said, there was also home ec, and that's where everyone went to learn how to cook, to do how to this, do how to that, understand how to handle budgeting and stuff like that. And yeah. You freaking you would have to do that. There are some people right now that, which is why, the trades that are going on are jacking up prices on stuff because nobody knows how to do that shit anymore. Nobody knows how to work on engines anymore. Nobody knows how to work on houses. See, because my dad was focused on, working on vehicles, that was part of the family business. And he would, so when it came time to do the business stuff, then it would be, okay, I don't know how to work on a freaking door because my dad was too busy showing me how to do other stuff in the business, if that makes any sense. So I don't know how to put up sheetrock. So if you put up sheetrock, you can say, yeah, I said that's about normally how much it costs. Oh, okay, cool, and I'll shell out the cash because I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? So, WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air. Hello. WTF Nation Radio. Mute your mic. There you go. You good? Can you hear us? All right.
And you're absolutely right on, the trades are a huge part of it, and our parents teaching us, and pushing, if we, like, my thing in high school was JROTC. I love JROTC.
Yeah.
I wanted to enlist. And my high school was a good high school that had an emphasis on college. They had an architecture program. They didn't have a building program, but an
Yeah, they did, yeah.
cosmetology,
Yeah.
and all those other, weird little jobs that are still going to be around 20, 30, 50, 60, 70 years from now.
Exactly. WTF Nation Radio, on the air. Hello.
He's playing phone tag with us.
I guess. I mean, I picked it up, so. My man, here, let me go ahead and grab you back again. Let's see if I can grab you. All right, come on. All right, okay. Now you should be coming in. See, Skype's updated on purpose now, so now I have to kind of play the Skype game now. Let's see if I'm ready to go. Yeah, Morty, caller, you're talking to WTF. I gotta work on that voice.
I'm going to work on my Morty, and that'll be a formidable duo here.
No, she didn't try to be a pie. Yeah. So anyways, while the caller's trying to get on there, he'll probably cut in and say hello. No, but again, Mike Rose said that too. There's a lot of there's a huge gap between what kids know and now. Like again, the kids are now getting trolled, being made fun of because they don't know how to change a tire. The only time you should be helping somebody change a tire is if they're elderly and they have a blowout. You see that a lot nowadays. You see police officers. You see, hell, I've even seen soldiers that will sit there and help an elderly person how to change a tire. But some people, the able-bodied, under 30, maybe 30, mid-30s, as soon as they have a tire blowout, I'm going to call roadside assistance.
I had a
like,
roommate.
what?
I had a roommate with when my wife and I were dating, and our roommate was exactly like that. I'm gonna call roadside assistance. Oh no, the dishwasher isn't working. What did you do to my dishwasher? I don't know. It's just not working. And it turns out she just didn't know how to turn the frick on.
Yeah.
Things that, the smallest thing, which we were taught to, oh hey, something's not working. Let's troubleshoot. Let's see if it's plugged in. Let's see if it's this. My roommate would. It's a disaster.
Yeah. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Derek from the chat.
What up, Doc?
Talk about your VOTEC classes. How much of that do you think is just because the area or the type of economies you have there? I've made that comment. Only home ec class that we had in VOTEC, only chicks took it, and they had to make a doll and put an egg inside this baby doll's head. It's just like a stuffed pair of pantyhose. But if the egg broke, then they failed that 6-week period. Only mechanics classes we had was small engines. There was drafting, cosmetology, which all the chicks took cosmetology, and then electricity and electronics. And I mean, that's from the Bible Belt, Tennessee.
When did you go to high school? When did you go to high school?
I graduated in 1995.
Okay, I went to high school. I went from, and I'm so sorry, it's gonna make you sound old. I was a freshman in 06, and I graduated in 2010. I graduated 2010. And home ec for me was taxes and budgeting and learning how to deal with warranties and installing stuff.
Learning how to write.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, learning how to write letters and
What
shit
type-
when somebody fucks you over. I'm sorry.
What part of the country did you grow up and graduate high school from?
I was in Florida. I was in a very conservative part of Florida, and we had dudes in cosmetology because like us JROTC kids. I took a cosmetology class. Why? Because I wanted people were tired of paying $20 to get their haircut. Hey, I'll learn how to use a pair of clippers, and it served me well when I did go into the Army because I knew how to use a pair of clippers.
Right.
It's what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah, exactly. But some of that, like you were saying though, Doc, some areas have a stigma and applied agenda to the education curriculum of what should or should not be attended to.
They do, and that was part of my master's thesis. I did, that's my doctorate's in education, and now I have a second cousin of mine who's in what's called a STEM school, and it's up. I mean, but this child is 11, and she has a fucking smartphone. Those kids have no clue what the Dewey Decimal System is, or what to do. They're not going to be able to write an essay and have a bibliography with books in it. It's going to be fucking cut and clipped from this website at this period in time.
Oh, you're right.
And it's crazy how just because where we're from, how different school districts, different states, whether conservative or liberal, they have curriculum development is crazy. Like I said, cosmetology up here in Tennessee, it was mostly all just women, just like home economics. I never entertained the idea. They was teaching you how to balance a checkbook. I just know that the girls had to make those baby dolls, and if the egg broke, they failed the class.
Yeah, because you saw that around campus. You saw yeah, exactly.
We had small engines, learn how to work on a lawnmower, and learn the difference in a regular motor and a two-cycle.
Two-cycle, yeah.
But yeah, man, y'all had good education opportunities.
So, Doc, you said you're in Tennessee, and you did your doctorate.
Yeah, it's an education, yeah.
So the wife and I are talking about having a kid. Would you recommend having a child go through the education system here in Tennessee? Because I'm in Nashville. So would you recommend in Tennessee going through the education system here as it is now with a child?
Are you in Nashville? Are you going to be going through a city district, or are you going to be going through a county?
Sumner. Because of districting, it's just where the district falls where I'm at. So, hey, come find me, people. Fuck my Persac.
What's wrong with you, dude?
Hey,
my house is open.
I'm hearing that's great. I am real active in politics, and I have a hearing next week, the 21st, at the Tennessee Tower regarding medicinal marijuana in Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
We're pretty good friends, and the state senator is Richardson, and he's an anesthesiologist from Davidson County out there in Nashville. And they're doing 3 hearings. I'll testify in front of the one on the 21st in Nashville. Then they'll schedule one for Memphis and one for Knoxville. Tennessee's got some great fucking programs out there for veterans. We have Fort Campbell. It's very military friendly. Just be sure not to fuck yourself out of state benefits out there. That's really good for you being in Tennessee. It's a great military friendly state.
Sweet, man. It's a nice thing. Here it is where we have so many things to benefit. Not trying to sell my state to the person retiring here, but what would you recommend is one of the best benefits?
Fucker.
Well, it does not have doesn't have state income tax. What we have, our state funded Medicare program, these still has some flaws in it, but especially if you're retired from the military, you get great benefits as far as property tax incentives, license plates, and if you're a service connected disabled vet, you get all kinds of great benefits. It's a state level. The state education system will give you benefits like they did for me. That and using the VREP program is how I paid for my master's before I ever used any of my post 9/11 GI Bill for my doctorate. But mine was centered more around a leadership role. It's the difference in an Ed.D. and a PhD. It's more, curriculum development and teaching, but only at, master's level, because I would kill fucking kids today. But then again, giving my input from a political perspective, how you can ruin a society, you can ruin a generation simply because they're attached to a smartphone.
Yeah, exactly.
And we do it with an electronic device where 30 years ago you gave a child a little bitty ball and they were happy when they got a star and an octagon and a square to go inside of it. And now we pacify them with these little toys from the time they're 3 months old. Just to keep them to shut up.
Yeah, I put baby ice. Yeah, I put baby ice in an octagon, like a no shit MMA octagon. I have a little mini one that that's his freaking, and he has Legos, dump trucks, blocks, front loaders. Then I jump in there and we roughhouse a little bit, and then I show him how to build something and all that. That's what it's all about, man. He only watches TV just when we're eating. So like if I'm eating with me and him are eating, then we'll watch some TV together, and that's it.
Right.
So yeah, and on technology, technology is always advancing. Back in the early 1900s, there's probably said about the telephone, this is going to destroy modern communications. I mean, we know what's his name, Socrates, Greek Socrates.
Oh, Socrates.
Damned the written word. He damned it because he said we would get lazy and we would never learn more than we could. And technology was always going to advance. It's just we can't give it to them so damn young. 3-4 years old playing Panda Pop on the iPhone is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it was funny because I saw a picture today of a kid laying on her back with a bottle in its mouth at a playground, while the moms like laying on the ground, like underneath the bench, while the moms were fucking sitting there on their phones. They all had their faces in their fucking phones.
You know how many I rub raw making this statement? It is our duty to want our children to have it better than we do.
Of course.
If we have this degree, we should want our kids to strive to get a bachelor's.
Yeah,
that's the reason that we have cars now, because our.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Most of the kids nowadays they don't get pushed.
You have to remember the basics. You have to remember the basics of acquiring knowledge.
Yeah.
And then throughout having the wisdom to apply your knowledge to the situation at hand. But we cannot, as a society, we can't learn from other people's mistakes. We have to make them ourselves time and time and time again. And that's why it's such a long process for us to evolve into what we're supposed to be evolving into.
Yeah, exactly.
It blows my mind how, my little cousin is strapped to her telephone when I tell her there's a difference in Old English and American English.
Yeah, oh my God. And that's, you're right.
Says English,
you're right.
And I was like,
they don't believe you. They got to Google it.
People in Mexico, they don't speak Spanish like people in Spain do.
Yeah.
And it blows this kid's mind.
Yeah, I know, man. Oh, I hear you.
If you can't Google it, you're
wrong.
doomed to failure.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're going to come to a class that I'm teaching and try to bring me a thesis and 2/3 of their bibliography or a bunch of websites.
I graduated.
Yeah. Hell, fuck no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm older. Yeah, so finally somebody younger than me. Yeah, I'm older. Heath, I was already in the army. Heath, when you graduated high school. So.
It was the best decision I've made in my life.
Yep.
I missed the military. I was messed up, so I had to get out. I loved it. It gave me great opportunities, and I missed the camaraderie, and that's why I have you guys.
No, that's what got you too, man. All right, hey man, thanks for giving us a call, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
All right, brother. Yep, take it easy.
So someone made a comment that I have a strong inclination to believe there's a connection between electronics and the development of autism.
You know what? That's actually a fascinating. That's a fascinating theory.
Now the only way with my minor medical knowledge I know that I could see the connection here is it possible with the minute amount of radio waves, which are radioactive, from the telephone, from the cell phone, that when we put it up against the ear, could that cause that to happen? But then I'm arguing with, well, autism is a genetic disease. Don't want to bring up vaccinations, Doc.
I mean, when I was pregnant with my kids, I had a lot of x-rays, like for my chest and stuff, due to other reasons. They're healthy, so I don't know. You would probably need a huge study to be able to figure that out. No, I'm just I mean, my son he's a dumbass. I mean, smart, but.
And that's the question, because there's a lot of studies done on it being a genetic disease, and could it be possible that it affects the genome? I mean, I don't know. That'd be a pretty cool study to do.
Just keep it away from the fucking kid. That's easy. You don't have to know that. I mean, there's some things that you paid, because you know what? It's almost like looking at some of these studies as a parent. It's like self-diagnosing yourself on WebMD.
You have cancer.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm pulled my left hip or something, or my knee is hurting a little bit, and then you start answering the question. Does your knee hurt a lot infrequently? Okay, click next. Oh, does your do you have some swollen? Sometimes I have swollen. Okay. Does it feel better? Blah blah blah. Did you have any injury? Yes, I was playing sports and I twisted it. Okay, hit yes. Next, you got cancer. And I'm like,
cervical cancer of that.
Exactly. You have
remember in the barracks it's always AIDS.
Yeah. You have cervical cancer, gonosyphilades, and that's it. You're done. And all you did was just research something that you injured, like for your knee, and then it's the same thing with kids. I'm afraid. I mean, I did it one time, and that's exactly what popped up. Because there's no, like, some of the old terms that we say for parenting for kids, like. My kids right now, I have never had terrible twos of any of my children except for Baby Ice is rage. He's a rager. It's like he's a teenager now. He gets pissed off. He'll and everyone's like, oh, it's like, whatever, baby, you should have him checked out. Like, checked out, like, for what? And so I did the WebMD thing. Kid does this. Does your kid cry when he doesn't get his way? Yes. Does your kid do this? Yes. Does your kid get mad and just starts throwing a shit fit and throws toys everywhere? Yes. Your kid has autism and freaking, and is gonna grow another head in the back of his head. You know what I mean? What the fuck are you talking about? And it's like, whatever happened to the terrible? You know what I mean? Like you were saying though, KJ, it's some of the lexiconical terms that you used to be able to say. That's the terrible twos. But now people want to throw a label on it when it comes to your kids, and I'm thinking, oh God, maybe you should have Baby Ice. Why? What happened? Well, the teacher picked him up today, and he didn't like to be picked up, so he punched the teacher in the face and did a left shoulder lock and tried to make her tap out. You know what I mean? Baby,
Ice, we're gonna have a talk about you teaching your kid MMA.
Oh yeah, right? I teach. Oh yeah, no, I teach him. I roughhouse him with him for a reason. Is because, he was getting. I wouldn't say picked on, but there were just things that were happening to him that weren't being observed where he's at, and so I was like, okay, if you don't want to fucking do it, and I was about ready to fucking go ape shit, and they of course where he goes to school, it was mitigated, and so I was just thinking, you know what, no way. My kid is not gonna. Nope. So I started teaching him how to roughhouse, and so when it's funny because when I'll say, "Hey, stop! Don't do that," and he'll look at me and he'll just like, he'll like don't drop that, and then he'll just walk up to the freaking cup and he'll just like knock it over the table. Pop pop.
Oh, kind of like the video of the Velociraptor.
Yes.
How they're like cats.
Yeah. And I just walked up there and I'm like, hey, you better stop it. And I swatted his bottom. And the next thing you know, he's like, no. And he hits me in the face. I'm like, you little. And then, then he runs. He takes off. I mean, he's screaming baby talk. He probably is telling me to go fuck myself or something like that, or and he's slamming the doors. I mean, he's. But again, if you were to do research now about what that is, oh, I'm sorry, your son's suffering. He needs to be medicated. Because God, oh man, if my mom were to talk to you guys about what I used to do when I was a kid, and some of the stuff that I used to say to my teachers, and some of the stuff because I just hated my teachers, I just didn't like school, and some of the stuff that I wanted to do at school, like when we write essays, I would write thermonuclear essays that would now be so fucking it would be telling, Mrs. Ice, your son's gonna be a terrorist. You know what I mean? It was just one of those things where freaking you didn't expect somebody my age to say something, but I was so you know, I don't know. I don't want to self-diagnose my kid. And then, you know, talking to a family member, I'm like, dude, he's 2, and he's terrible twos. Have you ever heard terrible twos? Oh, okay, cool. All right, cool. I don't want nobody to come back. I don't want CPS to say, yes, Mr. Ice, we need to, you know, your kid needs to be medicated and all that. Because that's the one thing that pisses me off is when people start saying, they start using medication for dealing with parenting issues that don't need to be medicated, if that makes any sense. Some of the issues with school shootings, what everyone likes to make a connection to, well, what everyone likes to try to make a connection to as far as the accessibility of guns, it's not it. It's that the majority of these fucking kids are on Zoloft and fucking Ritalin. That's the connection I think we should make more than fucking immunizations. They don't tell you that when it comes to massive, you know, it was a school shooting, or, you know, kid fucking blah, 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 blah. All of them. The whole term fucking postal came from a dude who shot up a fucking post office because he was off his fucking Zoloft.
I mean, look at the, I mean, and I hate to bring it up, but the worst school shooting ever, you know, one of the worst, Columbine.
Yeah.
You know, Eric Harris was taking Lovix, you know, and just imagine what my ex-wife was on, you know, took medications, and, you know, it's, you could see it's a clear day and night when, you know, you start building a tolerance to it and you don't realize you're building a tolerance to it. And that's when things can be dangerous. And fuck, man, kids are kids. Well, terrible twos, shitty threes, it all happens. But it's up to the parents to be told by their parents that this is only a phase, and that, oh, by the way, you did it too, you little shit stain.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I did it to my mom.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, when I was growing up, there was the you know, this I guess we could have said this has been my fucking my generation's Columbine. Everyone knew about Patrick Purdy, 1989.
Oh God.
He fucking was on Thorazine and fucking it was in Stockton, California. He shut up a fucking school. Patrick Purdy fucking, you know, killed 5 kids and wounded 30. So when people start talking about, well, you know, massive shootings and blah, 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 that's half the fucking problem. And we could, I mean, I could go back further. I did study about that shit. The bait, the switch. What are you talking about? Why talk about Columbine? What about it? We want to talk about it.
He brought up school shootings.
Yeah, brought up school shootings. You're right. That's. I mean, fuck. We're just trying to talk about people trying to make a connection to something that's not fucking there, but kind of use as an excuse not to parent their shit, not to parent their kids. And I was making a hyperbole fucking comment about my son and myself diagnosing anything that has to do with psychology or type of self-diagnosis for any medical issues, and then that's when I said we just started going off on the thing.
I mean, what a lot of people do is they just see their PCM for psychological issues.
Yeah.
You should go see a mental health profession.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, I mean, PCMs, your primary care manager or doctor or whatever, they just know the basics of psychology. They don't know the in-depth, because like believe it or not, with all your psychiatric medicines and even like most medications, like even down to heart medication, pain medication, everybody's DNA is built differently.
Of course.
So like one kid who's taking Zoloft, say he does need it for whatever, but Zoloft doesn't work for him because the chemical makeup in his body is causing him to
Correct.
like go crazy. And they aren't trying to find out what medication will work for that kid to not go fucking crazy.
Now, I'm sorry, Heath. I thought you said bait and switch when I caught that. It's the belt and the switch. Exactly. You know, you ever see that fucking South Park cartoon where the teacher's like, "This is how you deal with a kid with ADHD," and there's these three kids bouncing around, and he smacks one kid, "Shut up! Do your study, do your homework." And the other one, he bounces up, and then now look, here's the third child. You notice he's reacting to positive stimuli. That's how you deal with fucking ADHD. So when you start talking about, oh, well, you know, Ice, you're fucking insensitive, all this stuff. I have metrics. I did this in school. It was fucking crazy. Back in when I was trying to chase college and shit like that, and we were talking about this stuff, and I got stuff that dates all the way back to fucking 1985. I mean, it was funny because we were doing public species. What would that look like? Public speaking and communications. And to speak open, to get over the fact that you have to speak in fear and give a dissertation, and because I had a little bit of a stutter, and, you know, just a lot of other stuff. So I had to memorize a lot of these facts, so that way I could walk back and forth. This was before, you know, PowerPoint and lecterns and shit like that. So I memerized some of the stuff that I was able to counter-argue with somebody who said, "No, what about this? Well, how do you take an account of somebody in blah, 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 blah in 1993? Well, he was on Prozac. Well, what about 1996? He was on fucking lithium." You know what I mean? I was able to go back and forth. Exactly. The lithium levels is crazy.
And you know what's even scarier? And this is when we're talking about mental illnesses and we're talking about children.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about trendiness.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it as a fashion statement.
It is. Oh, you know what? And you know what? You bring up a good point, KJ. I hate rehab trendies. Rehab trendies are people that like to talk about what they're on and what they've done. Yeah, you know, I was fucking on smack all the fucking time. So now I'm taking lithium, Prozac, fucking, you know, I'm on Zoloft and Thorazine and amitriptyline and, you know, because I'm the Enrafil and, you know, I'm taking all that stuff and, you know, because blah, blah, blah. You're right. Like trying to fucking be cool to talk about how much shit you're on. Man, fuck that.
Well, you also have, like, my personal favorite, and I follow it for my own amusement, is there is this woman on Tumblr, we'll keep her nameless, that legitimately when she popped up, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, she showed up and she's like, "I have depression, anxiety, I mean, she read off the entire DSM-4. Everything. I have gender dysphoria. I have Jesus Christ in my heart and soul. Every fucking thing in the DSM-4 she had. And then at the bottom, she states, "I've never been diagnosed with it by a doctor, but I know I have it." So, of course, I've been following this journey out of pure wonderment.
Curiosity?
Yeah,
exactly.
Because, you know, it's amazing that a beluga whale can speak and type. So, of course, I'm going to follow it.
Fuck you, whale. Fuck you, dolphin.
Of course, as I'm watching over the years, and she posts videos, and then videos erupt of her that become viral, and it is incredible that this woman is actually vehemently fighting. Like she live streamed to the Tumblr her first ever doctor's visit with a psychiatrist who told her there's nothing wrong with you except you desire attention. And then she flipped out on him. You could see it was just cold, calculated. You know, you don't have anything wrong chemically. You don't have anything wrong from the tests. Yeah. You just want attention, and that's not cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, most of it, again, someone just said, "Hey, what about, okay, well, because America." No, don't even go to America. No. Let me see. Case back in 1999, Todd Smith walked into a high school fucking in Alberta with a rifle and killed one student and injured another. And he was given drugs, fucking psychotropic drugs. I don't know what it was, though. But after a fucking 5-minute phone call with a fucking, with a psychiatrist. And they give him fucking Skittles. So don't fucking say it's just because America this. Osaka, Japan. 37-year-old dude walked into a fucking second grade classroom and started stabbing students. Killed 8. Because he took 10 times normal the antidepressant because he wasn't getting the right fucking dose in.
Holy shit.
So it's not fucking... this is what pays to be old. I could go back. I could keep going back.
But where's your proof, Ice? Where's the proof?
Oh, there's...
You're not stating any proof.
Well, you know, talk to Dr. Ice here, and he'll assist you here. And he can teach you.
Oh.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, Dr. Ice, do you prescribe for some of these people some front-leaning rest position?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, you think about, and a lot of them, and a lot of these guys that go off on this shit, and the next thing you know, it's fucking, bam, you are freaking, it just comes back to me on some of the studies and shit. And it's always against little kids. If you've noticed any of this stuff, these individuals, when they go on their fucking shooting sprees, when they're on their fucking, or their stabbing sprees or whatever, they're always attacking kids. Stephen Abrams drove his fucking car into a preschool playground in Costa Mesa, California. He was on fucking probation and required to take lithium.
Well, kids are also victimless, I guess you could. No,
They're-
that's
no,
not the right
no,
word.
it-
They're
All right,
defendless. They
this is
can't
gonna
defend
sound- yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
It's going to sound horrible, and no one please take this as how I feel. Kids are easy.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
No.
Kids are easy.
Exactly. That's exactly what you're trying to say. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's because out west. Nah, fuck that. No way. Conyers, Georgia. TJ Solomon, 15, opened fire in Heritage High School in fucking Conyers, Georgia. And that's not fucking out west. And the same year, fucking, was it 2000? Seth Tricky, Gibson, Oklahoma, 13, opened fire in his fucking middle-aged class school right there, injuring 5. So it's everybody and shit. Don't fucking go on this goddamn, well, it's because it's California or whatever. Stephen Lee, Chelsea, Michigan, walked to a school meeting and fucking shot and killed a fucking school superintendent. All these fuckers were on some sort of antidepressants. Prozac, lithium, fucking whatever. So don't even try to fucking make it a connection because of the guns. That's what everyone is not telling you. You're right. Everyone talks about how, the fucking Columbine shit and also this stuff. As tragic as it was, the lack of fucking parenting was involved too. Just like this last one with fucking, what was that one over in, this last one? Sandy Hook. That parents are fighting over shit and didn't give a fuck about the kid because they were too busy arguing. The mom was too busy trying to get the dad's fucking, even the dad was like saying, this kid's crazy. This kid needs some help. Because the mom was using him for a fucking pawn in their fucking divorce. Got the kid wherever the fuck he wanted. The kid collected a massive fucking arms. So I don't want to fucking hear this shit about, oh, well, it happens only in California or it happens only in these states. It doesn't happen in the no way.
And you know what's, since we're on the topic of school shootings and drugs, you know what's the most excellent thing I've seen in response to these horrible things is that lots of school districts are now adopting the pick up something and throw it at the assailant. And that I think is great because if you have 30 kids throwing shit at someone with a gun, yeah, and they're spread out among the classroom, the guy A is first going to not stand there and get hit with shit. Well, I wouldn't.
Now that's why cops now are being posted in schools. That's what it is.
I would love that job, by the way.
Be a resource officer. I know in Florida there's a lot fucking, the resource officers are awesome because they're cops in school and they apply adult justice in the school, and I love it.
I went to high school in Florida. I do know.
Where'd you go to high school at?
Dunedin High School.
Where?
Home of the Falcons. Where? In Dunedin, Florida. Pinellas County.
No, I was about to say because Bloomingdale, son.
Get out of here. Leave. Get out here with that Bloomingdale crap.
my kid. Well, one of my many kids graduated from Bloomingdale High. So, yeah. So again,
you can leave here with that Bloomingdale crap.
Whatever, dude.
It just beat us.
Yeah, exactly. Bloomingdale's a fucking good school. People talk shit about Bloomingdale out in Valrico, but no one's like, oh, well, Those are the sleepers. I was an assistant Little League coach out there, too. And I used to always wear my Texas Ranger and my Dodger shit out there. And because they were all big Tampa, the Rays, they're all Rays fans and shit. So I'd go out there and wear my fucking Texas Ranger shit or Dodgers or fucking Raiders and shit. And they're like, fucking get their fucking faces twisted and shit. But they had some issues there too. A lot of the kids were more fucking, again, it was funny. It was because when the push for medicinal marijuana, the kids started smoking more dope, and guess what started to come down? Fights and shit. There was more drama with the kids that were taking fucking roids than they were with fucking kids, the stoners.
I just want to sit on my couch, eat a pizza, light a blunt, and have a good time. That's so hard to do.
No, that's not the point. The point being is that we're talking about the psychiatric system that we have.
No, that was me in high school. That was me.
That was you in high school? Yeah, it's just one of those. It's one of those things that people like to blow out of proportion when it comes to going back to all the way back to what Doc was saying about the kids being, overly stimulated on some shit that really do not. I mean, just it's stupid. I've seen kids that are baby Ice's age and Princess Ice's age, and they have phones. They have phones, and I'm thinking, what does an 8-year-old need with a phone? Who is that 8-year-old talking to?
My daughter, I've given my daughter my phone, like when we're driving from state to state, several hundred miles, and say, hey, honey, would you like to watch a movie? And I put on the movie, and then when the movie's over, I pull over and take away the phone and give her a coloring book or something to do. Because that's what my parents did with me. They gave me coloring book.
Oh, so you were...
You can't let them watch Netflix for 8 to 20 goddamn hours.
Yeah, like I said, I got the TV limited, and then I put stuff on there that he wouldn't want to watch. So I'll put like the Weather Channel, or I'll put some real quick news on. And I was telling you guys last week, I even stopped watching the news because I got tired of fucking everybody just talking about fucking the president. I was like, shut the fuck, God. I want to hear about the cop that was, that helped that old lady out. I want to hear about the cop. You know what I mean? I want to hear stories like that. The little girl who built the lemonade stand for the victims of Hurricane Harvey. Yeah, that's kind of stuff that I want to see new. That's to me, that's news. Whatever. What's going on in North Korea?
Hold on. There's a comment here that I think we need to address real quick. It's said twice now.
What's that?
Psychiatry is a pseudoscience.
How is that?
I'm curious how it is a pseudoscience.
No, Star Trek is pseudoscience. What is science based on, right? It's based on what?
It's based on a collection of theories, laws,
and what else? Go on.
I forgot the other one. God damn it.
Oh, what? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be all philosophical.
I got the itis, man.
I'm not trying to be. Yeah, I'm not trying to be Socrates. Yeah, I'm not trying to be Socrates or anything. It's just one. It's like you just said. It's a study, right? And it's a study of structure, behavior, and the physical and natural world. And this is the fucking Webster's dictionary fucking definition of it, through observation and experiment, and in particular of the specific sciences. So that's what it is. It's not a pseudoscience. Again, Star Trek is fucking pseudoscience. That's what else? No, Star Wars is fantasy. But anyways, it's fucking that's pseudo. That's not pseudoscience. It's practice. It's now that we've indulged in. Think about this. Back in the Middle Ages, if you had some mental issues, you had somebody bore a hole in your head and throw some leeches in there to see what happens.
That's true.
That's what they used to fucking do.
I'm so glad it's not like that anymore.
Or they were like, or like me. I'm able to
lobotomies.
Yeah, lobotomies and shit. Fucking electroshock therapy. Fuck that.
Which they still do.
To some degree. But that's only if you're Al Qaeda.
Yeah, but not to the Joker and Harley Quinn deleted scene from Suicide Squad sort of extent.
Well, that was kind of. Anyways, well, my biggest thing though is that it's not really a pseudoscience. It's that we've moved away from the science, is what it is. That's why a lot of the stuff we're going to this homeopathic, vegan, granola eating. It's holistic bullshit. When we should be going back to the science.
Oh my God! Don't eat GMOs.
Yeah. Oh my God! I didn't know what fucking gluten was. I didn't really know you could be you were allergic to gluten. And then I look back, everything that we ate when we were kids had gluten in it. So now all of a sudden somebody said gluten's bad. Or when someone says organic. Hey, motherfucker, if it comes from the ground, it is organic. How else is it supposed to be gonna come? Organic means organic. You don't put a simple title to it and say that's organic. What does that mean? What means it's organic? Well, fucking all life on the earth is organic to the earth. So what you're changing fucking the lexicon for your marketing bullshit. It's not what it is.
I think my favorite thing is how we've got, that guy on YouTube. I posted this video about how to be offended, and it's his thing with like if meat eaters acted like vegans. It's pandering.
The guy with the red hair.
Yeah, the guy with the long red hair that is obviously being a satirist.
Mm-hmm.
It's pandering to a very vocal group, be it the organic thing or the I'm offended or even the oh my god, every 3-year-old has ADHD. They're incredibly vocal. They're incredibly out there. They're louder than me. And of course, the loudest voice is going to get heard. And if enough people hear it, that might be right, you know?
His name is JP Sears.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Organic. It's organic. Well, no, Dick. If it's coming from the ground, it's organic. I hate that term.
Inches of organic for you.
I hate that term. I hate that term. Stand by. We're about ready to be blessed by stank.
I was going to say something, but anyway.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, it was just like how everybody's trying to contribute, like our non-organic food is causing cancer and all this other stuff. I mean, for me particularly, I believe cancer has a lot to do with it.
Hell yes, you're going to be blessed.
What's up, Stankus? What you doing, brother?
Not much, man. You know it wouldn't be me without calling in the last 5 minutes of your program.
We always got to get stanked on the last 5. Always.
Always save it to the bitter end. You know, got to have that last word.
Damn right.
Doc there, man. He nails it every time. But anyway, good program tonight.
Oh, thanks,
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. Talking about talking about bullshit.
Go ahead.
And then I got pretty I was pretty impassioned the first hour. I was getting riled up.
About the gluten, right?
No, no, I'm just being American. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to apologize for shit. I'm American. Proud of being American. So
absolutely. It's here we are. 16 years later. Just kind of going through our daily lives, and people are actually shocked when they look at their Facebook feed and see what happens. Oh shit, that actually happened.
Yeah, that was real. Yeah, it was real.
So nonetheless, I have my own personal opinion on it, and I honestly think that the industrial complex or the media for sure have certainly done their level best to split us again, and take away from the center of focus. That we may not be at war, but fucking certain people have been at war with us for the last 16 years.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And pretending it's not out there doesn't mean that it's not out there. And but then no one here and listening to this program has any doubts about that, I'm sure.
Oh, of course not. I mean, it's just like sex. You don't it's out there until you have something thrown in your face and you're like, "Yep, I'm getting some ass." Type shit. You know what I mean? Don't fucking don't see it as it like don't see it as it not happening. It's happened. That's the best part about. See, that's the thing. The best part about old tape, because back in 2001, you couldn't edit and do that shit like you could now. Like I can get a clip now that was produced in this time in this level of technology, and I can reproduce it and change it up and make it look like, holy crap, that's so fucking legit. But back in the day, you can't change that. You can't change that. That footage that you see there, there's no way you can fucking change it.
Yeah, interestingly enough, on the TV and whatnot, we get repetitive images of certain things that drive the media narrative, and but almost within 2 years after 9/11, you practically stop seeing the really stark and brutal imagery that we are all exposed to that one day.
Well,
but then after about 2 years, it was like, hey, showing that shit's verboten. They can't handle it. That was under the premise
that was the offense. Yeah, exactly.
Triggers people.
Exactly. That was when sensitivity got really started to ramp up. Because what was going on at the same time? They were talking about opening a mosque just right down the street from fucking Ground Zero. That was the big fucking controversy back then, when that time, because that shit right there was happening. Eat a dick. I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
If you're offended because I'm American, shut up. I don't care. Tune out. Hit that big X up right there, or don't even pay attention. Throw your phone in the trash while we're broadcasting. If you think that we're tainting you with all this functional veteran center of excellence knowledge at your ass, because you're gonna have to fucking deal with it. If you don't fucking like it, don't tune into WTFNationRadio.com or follow U.S. Army WTF Moments. Because then if you don't like us, then we won't like you. Who cares? And it's America.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And and it's a side note from Spanky's Little World, not that it matters and nobody gives a shit, but, I'd actually gotten out of active duty and with the intent to pick up the rest of us in the reserves. And after, and I did that in '98, and then in 2001, when all that shit hit the fan, man, within a week, I was back down in the, back down in the road, and then 6 months later, I found myself sitting in Iraq, and so good shit.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
You know how we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm old and fat, so it's awful.
Well, like Patton said, Americans love to fight, and we do not tolerate a loser. We want to win, and that's the way it should be all the time. It should be that all the fucking time. Why don't you want to see your country win? I want to see everyone win. So, but I want to see you do it. Bust your ass to get it. Don't fucking use an excuse or expect me to fucking help you out if you can help your able-bodied. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that I just don't get. So,
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, we don't want to trigger people who lost, and I seem to recall, and not that I was born in the fucking 40s. Jesus Christ. I grew up in the fucking 70s and 80s, man.
Yep.
We didn't get participation trophies. You lost, you fucking lost, and you got chastised for it too. Yeah.
Or you got told, hey, come back next time, you're good to go. You know what I mean? Just, hey, you tried. Hey, maybe you need to stretch more, or maybe, you know what I mean? You tried out.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you need to do some more PT or some shit. Like, good job. Damn, that sucks. All right, well, see you later. And then I walked away all pissed off because I didn't do this, and the next thing you know, now it's now one of those things to where somebody gets the ass about something, and then now they expect you to apologize, or they expect you to,
for winning.
Yeah, fuck that. No way, dude.
Yeah, let's go, let's go have kumbaya and, tell them how they should have won the game. But I mean, the reality is what it is. But nonetheless, so I'm going to give you an opportunity because, you probably want to get ready to recap the show, and I'd love to hear some of the awesome topics that you guys talked about earlier, and I couldn't join because of classes.
We talked about the let's see, I was on a fucking tirade on the first segment because I was tired of it.
Yeah.
And then second we talked to the guys from Walk of Life, and
I did catch that.
And then they're
awesome
gonna come.
job.
They're gonna come back on. And once they come back on, and then we're gonna kind of track them up and see where they're on their trek, because hopefully we can try to catch up with them. Maybe we can catch up on their routes, and then link up with them, and then. Hey, where you at? We're over here. Okay, let's see if we can get some of the team out there to take pictures with them, or give them some support.
Which way are they going? They're going west to east or east to west?
They're going west to east.
Okay, all right.
So
where were they at when you talked to them last? I didn't catch that.
They were near Fort Leonard Wood. So.
Okay.
Yeah, they're cruising along pretty good, and then they got freaking And this, just now we're talking about what were we talking about in the last hour? We're talking about the kids and how society likes to say that it's when you try to diagnose something or you try to check something out and you ask somebody, then they think that you need to get your kid medicated, and that's when we went on this tirade about this back and forth about kids taking Zoloft and lithium and all sort of shit. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's actually, and it probably came up in your tirade, and I did miss that part, which is unfortunate because I love it when you go off into appeal. But, a lot of these schools actually get some additional funding whenever they have kids that are diagnosed with.
I didn't want to go into that.
Shit.
I didn't want to go into that either because, of subsidies and stuff like that. But did you know that in Florida, if you have kids that are of veterans or of service members, then the school gets a credit for it, especially if they have programs that are involved like GROTC or Sea Cadets, Civil Air Patrol programs in their high schools. That high school gets extra. That's why all those Florida high schools, you notice, have baller ass fucking football uniforms and stuff like that for their programs. It's because they participate in those programs, and that's why they're able to do it. Unlike out west in California, where the teachers' unions get paid for per capita per kid. That's why they give a fuck about truancy in California, is because the union does it by kid. It's almost like how many kids you teach doesn't matter if they fucking learn, fail, or whatever, or high in the fucking class. Then, yeah.
Oh.
But anyhow.
Yeah, so they would certainly be a strong opponent to homeschooling.
They
so
are
they get some of those
actually
additional kids.
Actually, they try to ban it, saying that it was illegal. It's an illegal act because parents are not qualified to teach their kids. No shit, is what they said.
Meanwhile, we've been doing it for hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the rest of civilization that everyone likes to talk shit about, that actually they laud and they say we want to be like these old. The reason why cultures like this were so successful was because of such and such. So, but anyways,
yeah.
All right. Well, hey,
it's all upside down, man.
Come on, man. We're supposed to write it up. That's what we're here. We got to write this shit back up.
That's it.
All right, man.
Yep.
So, always a pleasure. And of course, I cannot let you go with every time you get on. I was like struggling, but this time I had this ready. So
you're loaded. All right, brother. We'll catch you guys later. Be good, man. Keep the rubber side down.
All the way, brother. Have a good one.
All right.
Oh man. All right. So tonight we're gonna do some house cleaning. Hang on. Wait a minute. Did I do that right? Hang on. Let me see. Just in case you didn't know who that was. No, it got stanked. It would stop. Oh my god, I had to hit that fucking player off. We got stanked. So anywho, so tomorrow, let me do some house cleaning. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna see if I can get my brown chicken brown cow music up right quick. No, never mind. It's gonna take too long.
If you do that voice during house cleaning, I'm gonna lose it, boss. I'm gonna lose it.
Oh, you want me to do the voice for house cleaning? Okay, hang on. Oh yeah. Should I?
Going on mute.
Want me to do it? No. You gonna put it on mute?
It's gonna be bad.
No, it's you wanted to fucking hear it. So tomorrow we have Gina and Shannon from the Pin Up for Vets. Oh man, they were on here last time. Pi got to meet him and shit. Got to hang out with him during the Operation Chromite screening at the VFW in Hollywood. These chicks, these hotties. Founded in 2006, Gina found out about how older veterans were lying in bed all day and never receiving any of the visitors, and so she heard about the uphill battles of wounded warriors as she was, she convinced to start a project that would bring funds to support all hospitalized veterans. Now, her late grandfather, Lou, served in the Army for 4 years from World War II and wanted to honor him in his name. So she was always, because, to me, it's fascinating because I love the pinup thing. The nose art on a B-17 bomber. My grandfather, when he was incinerating Japs in the Pacific, he had fucking a big ass nose art in the fucking on the plane, and it was the pinup chick, butt in the air, holding a bomb and shit like that, and I can't remember what it was, bitches love bombs. Like I don't know fucking know what it was called, what the name of the plane was. I just remember that. I remember shit like that. I was like, oh man, that's pretty fucking cool. And then the whole style, I like how the younger generation is now doing it again. We were kind of joking around that it's kind of messing up with their, it would mess them up because there's some guys that still think they're back in the 40s, and all of a sudden a chick from the 40s comes in dressed like she's from the 40s. Would probably brighten his day. You know what I mean? They long for those times of yesteryear, and something like that. They come in and do period like songs and stuff like that, or take pictures with them and stuff like that. That's awesome. So then they created a pinup calendar that would serve three purposes. One of them will be sold to raise funds for the hospitalized veterans, and then also as gifts to our ill and injured veterans and messages of appreciation from the donors, and then sent to the deployed troops. You damn right, pinup chicks are back, son. I love it.
Woo!
I couldn't get any. I got in trouble for putting a fucking bumper sticker, for putting a sticker on my truck and fucking when I was deployed. I got everything else. I mean, big win. Hey, America, all sort of shit. And the next thing you know, you better take that sticker from your truck because the colonel's going to come by and blah, 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 blah. You got to be fucking kidding me. Are you for real? So, pissed me off. Friday, we're going to have Conrad Hallman. So, yeah, Pin Up for Vets. Ooh, ooh, and they're going to be on camera tomorrow. See, that's why they were going to come on today, but due to the fact I was in PERSEC and stuff like that, and I was afraid that I was going to accidentally show my face when I'm sitting there oogling after them and shit. So, I got to be careful that I don't, that Minx kind of does, because I'll get distracted because these pinup, I love pinup chicks who do pinup. That's automatic. I'm sold. Maybe it's because I'm an old soul anyways, and I was born in the wrong time. And me and Captain America used to beat up the Red Skull back in the day. But anyways, Conrad Hallman from Operation Code was started back in 2012 by Captain David Molina. U.S. Army retired. Operation Code helps provide veterans and their families information on how to get their tech career going. And they work with senators and congressmen and congresswomen to allow the veterans a total control of their future by permitting the use of the GI Bill on coding boot camps. So it's pretty cool. I kind of think that the tech is kind of the way to go when it comes to stuff like this, because without tech, you would not be able to get WTF Nation Radio on U.S. Army WTF Moments or WTFNationRadio.com, Mixer, Twitter. Just think about all the technology that are involved to set. I didn't realize it was until the boss is like, here, man, you need to set your shit up, and here's what you need to do. I'm like, roger that. And I'm thinking it's going to be like fucking 5-10 minutes. Spent all fucking day.
I'm already like
all fucking day. It's going to take you a good time to set up your shit. So that's because it's involved in all the tech. Now, I'm an old dude. You know what I mean? I wish I had, but I'm an old dog that, can learn a new trick. As long as it doesn't require, me running too much. I don't want to fucking, pass out or some shit. But yeah, all this tech that we bring you, this veteran program is trying to do, Operation Code, I think it's pretty cool. I'm interested to see what the geek forward factor. This is gonna be some serious. Now this is science, okay? Not the pseudoscience of Star Trek that we were talking about earlier. I'm not saying I don't like Star Trek. I'm just saying that it's kind of like a pseudoscience type of stuff. But anywho. Also, come October, October's gonna be, we're in September. Yeah, so October's gonna be pretty, it's gonna be pretty busy. We're gonna be doing some projects and having some more stuff happening. Hopefully the ride will be happening around that time. So October is gonna be is gonna start to get packed. Gonna have an announcement coming out beginning of October, and we're not gonna give you no hints and no stingers, no freaking no previews or spoilers, because it has to get set up properly. And if it's not done right, and if it's something that's whatever, then once it comes out, you guys will know about it. And when it comes out on October, it'll be awesome. It'll be huge, not really huge. It'll be just be great. It'll be great for us and great for other veterans involved. So with that,
I have an announcement.
Oh, okay.
It's just to add to the guest lineup this week. I got confirmation from a couple of guys that they will be on Wednesday.
Oh,
Todd Veck and Darren Bomberger from United Hero Apparel.
Oh,
Yes, they'll be on Wednesday. I just finished up everything, and they will be on to talk
about their stuff.
Ground of military veterans, defense contractors, firefighter, law enforcement, and emergency medical services. And they are continuing to serve their country by doing T-shirts and other things.
That's what I'm talking about. Everyone likes a good T-shirt. The last T-shirt I got was from Action Figure Therapy. And I told them, I said, I want a fucking T-shirt that matches the new T-shirt uniform, and he obliged. I got the uniform.
Yeah, I
one.
picked that one up for you.
Yeah, and that was so cool. So, and that's the one that says, "I won't butt fuck your soul." I've never worn it at work because because where I work, if I were to take my my uniform top off, then that would be not conducive. Now, if I was a first sergeant or something like that, I would be I don't give a shit. Again, it'd be no big deal. All right, cool. So I guess we got a guest on Wednesday then. Awesome town. So guys, always pay attention to what's going on WTFNationRadio.com. I don't know if you guys noticed that our Twitter is starting to get picked up a little bit more. And we're also loading up some podcasts and all that. So if you can't catch our show, you can't catch it on Facebook Live because the Zucks is a fuck, then you can go ahead and catch us on WTFNationRadio.com and then check out the podcasts that get loaded up. If you follow us on Twitter, then you'll be able to see those alerts come up and get tweeted the fact that way you guys no show that's coming up and you guys are no show, then obviously you can say, hey, I remember that show or whatever. And you can also download the podcast for whatever edification or some type of evidence or bribery or blackmail that you wish to partake in. I feel better now.
Breathe.
Yeah. I'm getting kind of hungry. So anyways, with that, Cage, you got anything? Oh yeah, so wait, you're starting to fucking get your shit set up, right? So you're about ready to get them shits ready to roll. I can't wait.
Oh, I got some some fun things planned for you, boss.
What the fuck? Who are you trying to imitate there? You trying to imitate that gay dude from Family Guy?
Oh God, no. I mean, if you really want me to, okay. But no, I'm getting all excited because I literally got I got buttons here and I'm playing with them, pretending I'm Skrillex. And
oh, whatever, dude. You're just like Skrillex. Yeah, some of the things that's part of the big announcement too, anyways. So when that happens, that'll be awesome. Can't wait. Can't freaking wait.
We kind of just gave a little spoiler, so see if you figure it out.
That's part of the October surprise. Because you know what? This is Halloween. I love freaking October, man.
My favorite holiday.
It is my favorite holiday, man. It's my favorite. I love it. So, anywho, with that, y'all, thanks for coming on. Mom, KJ, thanks for coming on. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the Facebook live feed so I can play a couple songs. And then that's it. And then we're out. Y'all have a good one. See you. Shots.
Shots.
And on the cool check-in, center stage on the mic, and we putting it on wax. It's the new style. Hey, mama, said the way you move, gon' make you sweat, gon' make you groove.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
I look around this room and I see nothing but untapped potential.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
You have potential. You have... Oh, boy.
The bitches, they love visuals.
Split the night. No one dares to spend the sun on silence. Fools say that you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Hey, my love, that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops fell, and echoed in the wells of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. Inside flashed out his warning, and the word that it was forming. In the signs and the words of the prophets all written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.